Available now at critacademy.com. Our brand new book, Unearthed Tips and Tricks, Volume 1, featuring all of your favorite monster variants, character concepts, encounters, magical items, and so much more. Grab your copy today for only $9.95. Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes. And now, from the Crit Academy Studios, sponsored by our generous patrons, here's the show. Take it away, boys!
Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin. We're going to be doing a special show for you guys today. We are going to be doing our monthly Patreon run. We are going to be running something a little different. It's more dungeon crawly, more railroady, but I think that it's been very well written, and I'm really excited to run. In fact, one of our guests, Mr. Jingles, all the way with the hat over here, is actually the one that wrote this adventure and ran it for me and some of our friends last year. And with his permission, he let me run it for you guys. So I'm really excited for this. I hope that you guys enjoy watching and listening as much as we are hopefully going to enjoy playing it. I know I've loved it. If you don't know, I am the host of a D&D discussion podcast called Crit Academy, a show designed to provide guidance and inspiration to both players and DMs. Once a month, me and several of our wonderful and generous Patreon donors get together and run D&D. And we are going to be sharing that with you today. Why don't we get into it by introducing our lovely players? Why don't we start over here?
Yes, hello, I am playing Jingles Alloway, the Halfling Bard. I am a man of many means, and I have absolute faith that we succeed in all that we do. For you see, I am convinced of the significance of my destiny.
That is dope.
I am Chiron, the Tiefling Paladin of Bahamut. My skin is white with crimson red eyes and jet black hair. Goes down to barely touch my shoulders.
Wonderful. Who do we have down here?
My name is Koros. I have no god. My power comes from within.
You're a warlock, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the irony. All right. So once again, I want to thank Joe for putting this together and letting me run it for you guys. Now I hope you will enjoy. The title of this adventure is Jack Frost, A Critmas Story. 'Twas the night before Critmas, and all around the table sat several eager players awaiting an epic fable. Their dice all arranged on the table with care in hopes that the DM would soon be there. As soon as the DM began telling a story of knights and dragons in unending glory, the heroes were nestled and snug at the inn, totally unaware that their adventure would soon begin. For out on the street arose such a clatter, the heroes sprung to their feet to see what was the matter. Away to the windows they flew in a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to their wondering eyes should appear but an enormous white dragon radiating fear. On its back sat a rider so lively and quick, the heroes thought for a moment, who the hell is this prick? More rapid than eagles this dragon did fly, while the rider whistled and shouted, "You're all going to die!" Now the heroes were ready to face such a foe, and out into the street they swiftly did go. The rider who saw them shouted, "Cower in your britches!" The DM smiled, "Roll initiative, bitches."
That would be a 20 for Jingles.
Every time you say that, I laugh. I'm sorry. How about you, Chiron?
I got a 16.
Okay. And Koros?
I have a 14.
Alrighty. As you spring out into the night, the blistering wind slapping you in the face with nuggets of hardened ice, what are you going to do, Jingles?
Well, it seems that it might be a good time for us all to believe in our elves.
Approximately a medium distance floating above you is this dragon.
Alrighty. Well, I'll use my bonus action to grant my allies here, let's see, 8 temporary hit points with my Mantle of Inspiration.
Ooh. Is that
And
with
then, as my action, I will go ahead and cast a Vicious Mockery, because as you can see, the dragon here, well, let us slay him.
Oh my gosh.
It's got a range of 60 feet.
Oops.
And do I hit? Or it makes a save, right?
For your Vicious Mockery? Yes, that's a save.
Yes, okay. Then I will take a Wisdom saving throw.
It's going to fail.
I will hit it for 7 damage then.
So your snarky one-liner kind of catches them off guard as it kind of rears with a look of like Scooby-Doo. As your magically whispering words distract him long enough to create a weakness in his. That's a weakness in his offense, right? He attacks with disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay. And then you buffed your allies. How do you see that? How do you envision that working?
I look to my allies and I pick up a little bit of the snow and I sprinkle it in the air. We're going to be slaying it here, boys.
Oh my gosh.
And you guys feel this burst of kind of who's dinging?
Not me.
I'm picking up somebody's like text messages or something. So
that's Facebook Messenger.
Oh, is that what that is? So this energy kind of swirls around you, creating kind of a slight barrier, something that might ward off some of the power of a foe. Kind of to answer back, the dragon rears its head back. You see the on its back, the rider kind of reels back as it pulls on the reins of the dragon, and kind of like a horse neighing, it pulls forward, and you see this glowing, powerful white light begin to form in its mouth. As it opens its maw, it releases this massive blast of energy as it's swooping down towards you, and catches you guys as you guys are reaching, coming out of the building in its cold breath. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Before we do that, I want to ask Joe, how many temporary hit points?
8.
Okay, 8.
Oh, you know what? That's coming from my phone.
Oh!
Yeah, burn. I normally turn it down for the show, but I didn't. I forgot.
So a Constitution saving throw.
If you are within 10 feet of me, you get +3.
Which feature is that?
Feature. Come on.
Is that your aura?
It should be. Aura of protection. While you are conscious, you grant all friendly creatures, including you, within 10 feet, a +3 bonus to all saving throws.
Dope. All right, so make sure you include that.
Okay, so +3.
That'll give me a total of 14.
10.
Natural
20 +4.
Nice. So, as it reels back with this energy, Chiron kind of takes the front, and you kind of feel this radiating power around him, expanding out to you guys. And as the blast begins to hit, you start to see it almost hit as it's hitting a kind of a slight field in front, bolstering your defenses. But unfortunately, it starts to begin to collapse. Imagine like this blast hitting like an invisible field as it begins to tremble and break away, and then slamming into your defensive armor created by Jingle. Fucking Jingles. Which unfortunately... So the two of you, Jingles and Chiron, even with the defensive power, it breaks through. Icy blasts are hitting you, chilling your skin and your flesh. Snot begins to run down your nose and freeze on your face. You guys take 42 points of damage, and Mr. Koros, you actually succeeded. You're able to stave off most of the effects of the blast, but several of the little icy crystals still hit you, and you take half as much. So is that 21 points of damage?
Okay. I can do that. So minus.
You hear from the top of the dragon, "Heroes, your efforts are in vain. I will cloud the world in darkness." And he bellows and roars. All right, next up is Chiron. What are you going to do?
Is he within 30 feet of me?
He has moved within, as he swooped down to catch you in his icy breath, he is in a short distance of you, yes.
Then I'm going to cast Bane on the dragon and the rider.
Okie dokie. That's a saving throw, right? What is the DC for that?
It's a charisma save of 14.
The rider is going to succeed, but the dragon does not. As you hold out your hand, you chant a spell, and you curse your foes with this energy, in the hopes of weakening their offensive capabilities. I don't know. Do you pray to your deity as you do that chant? Do you have a deity?
Yes, Bahamut.
You pray to Bahamut, and they're surrounded by this, for an instant, this flash of power. And then the dragon seems to be radiating this low hum of power, as it's kind of giving it like a little sickly feel. Anything else?
No. I don't have any bonus action healing.
All right. You do have movement available, so if you wanted to try to duck and cover, you're in the middle of. You just came out of an inn, so there are buildings and barrels and boxes and stuff in the area, even little alleys. If you wanted to try to tuck away from one, keep in mind though, he is within. He's currently in a short range, so it will not provoke an op attack if you did want to move.
All right, then I duck into the nearest alley.
Okay. You kind of dash away after you release your power, and you duck into an alley. You can hear the bellowing and the roaring of this dragon and the laced insults coming from its rider above, promising a world of darkness and a return to the way it should be. All right. Koros, what are you going to do, boss?
First I'm going to duck into cover, so like behind a crate or something nearby.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to fire an Eldritch Blast at it.
All right. So you're going to attack from cover then?
Yeah.
So that'll yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
That lowers his AC, I think, instead of the other way or it gives you cover for against attack, so you can still do that, yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's going to be a repelling blast.
Okay.
So it's going to push him 10 feet away. Now, my Eldritch Blast, it casts 2 beams at my current level. Does it?
Yes, sir.
Do both push him 10 feet, or is it just one?
To my knowledge, if they both hit, they'll both stack. But it does, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, it still requires 2 different attack rolls for each beam.
Yes.
Yeah,
it requires two attack rolls for each beam, or 1 attack roll for each beam.
Yep.
Right, and that's a ranged spell attack.
Yep.
So it's D20 plus what here?
Your spellcasting modifier, which for you should be charisma plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay. I'm very rusty at 5th edition.
No problem, man. It's our responsibility to make sure you can.
Spell attack in the spells tab.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, please?
You should be able to see what your spell attack is if you look in the spells tab.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Right above the search bar.
I see it now. Thank you.
I feel bad because I'm the most not useful of that for that program because I've only used it a little bit.
So 26 for the first one.
Yes.
And
are these both going towards the dragon or the rider, or one to each?
Oh, there's a rider.
Yes, I apologize if I didn't make that clear.
They're gonna both go towards the rider. I'm intending to blast him off the dragon then.
Ooh, I like that.
They're gonna both go towards the rider, and the second one's a 23.
All right. Let me check something real quick. Make sure I got this handled. So you got a 23, and what was the other one?
26.
Okay. As the blast begin, so as you channel this energy through your through your palm, and it blasts and it arcs through the air, it cuts just past the beating and thunderous wings of the dragon. The blue skinned man with the beard holds out his hand, and you see this icy barrier form. And as your blast hits it, it smashes into it for an instant, and it cracks and buckles, and both blasts go right through the opening and catch him, and he ends up getting tossed backwards. Now, that doesn't require a saving throw; it just does it, right?
Correct.
Let me check here, just in case.
I know that by heart. No save, they get knocked back 10 feet for each blast.
Right. So as your blast catches him by surprise, you can see the look of surprise as he was expecting his shield to protect him. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
All right. So for both blasts.
Yep.
17 total.
As the blasts catch him by surprise and knock him back, he slides and skitters back around the dragon's back and down towards its tail. As he's coming, just about to fall off, he reaches up and grabs onto the tail and is dangling. Is that the best you got? Sure, you desaddled me, but if that's all you got, ha! The world will become full of darkness. You will not win this day, adventurers. At this point, well, I'm going to actually hold off from that for a second. So you moved and you did your attack. Is there anything you can do with your bonus action? Bless you.
My bonus action, it does not appear that I have any. So.
All right. So he's dangling there, but even though you struck him with a good couple blasts, he just kind of seems to shake it off. You do notice that in the impact marks on his chest, you see like hardened ice around his body that appears to have cracked a little bit.
Oh, good to know. Okay.
Jingles.
Jingles locks eyes with the dragon. How far is the dragon at this point?
Since you didn't move, he's still within a short distance to you, so approximately 30 feet. His thundering, beating wings is still kind of thrumming, and you can feel it, but well within a short range.
All right. Jingles locks eyes with the dragon, and then in a very deep voice that only the dragon can hear, away in the distance, the wind starts to blow like the strings of a harp being touched by a bow. It starts soft, then grows louder. It wails, moans, and hums. Its voice is its herald. It tells them he comes. The air will have a chill as the temperature drops. Your hair stands on end. Chicken skin starts to pop. And just when they think they can stand it no more, the sound of soft bells ringing outside the door freezes your heart. It's too late to run. He is here for your sins. The reckoning has begun. And I will cast Dissonant Whispers as a 3rd level spell.
Ooh, I have goosebumps, dude.
Give it to the guy who created the one shot and get this.
I found a poem about Krampus online, and I stole a line from it.
What is the save? Is that towards the dragon, right?
The dragon. Okay. It is a wisdom saving throw.
He got a 14. Is that going to be enough? That's not going to be enough.
What was that?
He got a 14.
My DC is a 14, so...
So it's meet or beat then. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Let me check.
So, yeah, make sure we got that ruling right. I'm pretty sure it's meet or beat. Is there any effects even if he succeeds?
He takes half damage.
Okay.
I can only reroll my own rolls. Okay. So let's see. That's 10, 18... So half of 24, so 12.
And you hear a deep rumbling. You dare try to fear me, fool? I am not some horse to be trifled with. You think I can fall for your trickeries? You will suffer under my might. And then you hear a cackling coming from the back as you start to see the gentleman on its back beginning to try to climb up. Any other actions for you?
I will, as a bonus action, cast Healing Word on myself.
Ooh. You got a bitchin' ass poem to go with that?
No. And I will heal myself for 5 hit points.
As you quickly chant a word, you guys kind of hear like the sound of sleigh bells for an instant as this white wind surrounds Jingles and wraps around him and rushes into his open wounds and seals them up. Do you have open wounds? Yeah, you took damage from the blast. Never mind. That's a stupid question. I knew that. Oh, I need to see if that recharges. Anything else? You still have movement?
I will run for cover.
You better run, little one, before I turn you to mush between my talons, the giant dragon says. Oh. With a loud, thunderous beat, the dragon beats and crashes towards where the the area where Koros is attempting to hide, and does a massive quick swipe at the barrels that he's and stuff that he's ducked behind. That will give you partial cover, but your cover will be destroyed in the process.
DM.
Yes.
Make sure to roll a d4 and use that number to subtract his attack.
The attack or the attack roll? Attack roll, right?
Attack roll.
Plus the cover. So, as this thing swoops in towards you, Koros, he swipes left and right, creating massive claw marks in the side of the building, ripping a part of the wall off and scraping across all the stuff all of the boxes and barrels that you were hiding behind, and sends it up in a shattering motion. You kind of stumble back as he's kind of standing over top of you. The attack had missed, but only by inches. He comes back and he reaches his back with his maw, kind of like a snake ready to strike, and snaps out with his teeth. Does a 19 hit you?
Yes, that beats
Okay.
my armor
I knew
class.
the other one was going to miss. I wasn't sure about the other one. As he snaps, his fangs tear into your shoulder. You're able to pull your body out between the fleshing and of the teeth, and you are going to take. Oh, geez, that's a lot of damage. You are going to take 16 points of damage as his teeth gnarl and pierce through your shoulder. You're able to quickly kind of to pull yourself out between the opening of his snaps and kind of stumble back. You see you have no chance, heroes, comes the voice from the rider. This is my time to reign. You're all going to perish. And we will move on to Chiron.
What type of action does it take to use a potion of healing?
It takes your action. A thief can do it as a bonus action.
Okay. I will use a bonus action. I'll use my action to consume a potion of greater healing.
With a quick pop, you pull off the cork and you begin downing its contents. Gulp.
I heal 14 points.
The red warm liquid coats your innards, and you can feel this warmth energy as it rushes through your aching bruises and scrapes and scratches from the jagged ice. Even the parts of your body that are frozen ice cold begin to kind of warm up a little bit. You still have a bonus and a movement action. You are currently hiding in the aisle between the two buildings. At this point, you can see Kairos kind of, moving back as he's being snapped at by this dragon. You can see the from the side of his face, you can see his eye, the dragon's eye, roll up and look at you, kind of like that T-Rex scene in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide there for a little bit more.
Well, currently he can see you where you are at while you are currently in the aisle. Would you like to duck behind some barrels or try to run into a nearby door?
I would like that. Hide behind the barrels.
Okay. You kind of hear a you think that'll protect you from me? You dash and duck behind some barrels. There's nothing you can do with your bonus action at the moment, correct?
No. I have nothing because I want to keep that Bane up.
Right. You don't want to risk losing it, which actually has helped quite a bit, so kudos to you. Your magic is weak, little demon man. All right, Koros, what are you going to do?
Well... Is there another hiding place nearby? I need to get some cover so I can use some healing.
Give me a perception check.
Okay, so perception is... Oh, great. Okay. 18 total.
You've got this monstrous dragging in your face, snapping and bellowing at you. You're able to kind of take a couple quick glances. To your right is an alleyway where you just saw Kyron duck behind some barrels, so you know there's some there. Off in the distance on the other side of the dragon, you can see several outside of one of the other buildings, and you suspect that there's probably more throughout some of the alleys spread in the area. Currently, the closest one would be the one that Chiron is hiding behind, and then the one directly behind the dragon is about a medium distance away.
Would moving there invoke an attack of opportunity?
Yes, because you are currently engaged with your target.
Engaged with the target. Yeah.
You're mine. A light snack.
Okay, well, I think I'll just use the healing potion right here then.
Okay. Drink up.
I can take another hit after the healing potion.
Keep in mind you can also disengage as an action, which means you don't provoke an op attack and you can still move.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will do that.
Okay, and where is it you would like to try to go? Would you like to try to move to another alley, down the same alley, an area where Chiron is, or would you like to try to make your way dashing towards that the other barrels on the other side of the dragon that is a medium distance away? You'll get about halfway there.
I'll head towards the one that's a medium distance away.
All right. So as you, after you kind of pull yourself from this dragon's fangs, you kind of stumble back a little bit. You quickly, launch a few blasts and distract your enemy as you dash around as it kind of reels back from the surprise shock, and you're able to slip away and run kind of right through its legs. As you dash away towards it, you're just out of reach of. You just get out of reach as its tail's whacking back and forth. You kind of tumble over top of its tail to avoid it as you begin dashing towards it, and you hear an echo. You better run, little one. All of you will cower before us. The darkness will come, and I will rule these lands, says the dragon.
Are there flanking bonuses?
There are not.
There are not. Okay.
That is something that is not, it is an optional rule in 5e, but advantage is extremely strong. If you can come up with there is a help action you can take that can grant advantage to another ally, which is kind of the offset of the supporting another character. Like, a tank might want to take the help action to encourage a rogue to have a higher chance to get a sneak attack versus the little bit of damage a tank might do or something along those lines.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, So you do you manage to clear the dragon as its tail's wailing back and forth. Jingles.
It seems we've got ourselves a bit of a pinch here. That's all right. I'm certain you'll never forget this one. And again, I lock eyes with the dragon, and the deep voice returns. I know you have not seen magic so rare, but you know this horned god in his coarse hide of hair. He'll feast on your blood and make sacks of your bones, and use your pale, icy skin to recover his thrones. And I will cast Phantasmal Force.
Ooh.
That's an intelligence saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have the Phantasm take the shape of Krampus to fight the dragon.
That is dope as hell. You had a question there, Matt?
Also, Bane, they must also take the same D4 for a saving throw.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so he's going to fail his save. So you guys all of a sudden see the dragon's eyes kind of open wide, and he kind of takes almost like a step back. What are you? And he begins talking to something. The rest of you cannot see as he's being assaulted. You see him twisting and dodging and moving and reeling back as he's being assaulted by this imaginary creature, Krampus. You hear him yelling and screaming in Draconic. Does anybody speak Draconic?
Yes, I do.
Anybody else? Just one?
Shoot. Hang on. I accidentally pushed a button I shouldn't have.
I do not speak Draconic. Also, he takes 6 points of damage from the Phantasm.
How much
How
damage?
much Draconic?
6.
Okay. So you guys hear him, "How can you be this strong? I will crush you, I will eat you, and I will devour you." All in kind of Draconic as he's assaulting and he's swiping at the air. You guys can't see what's going on, but clearly Jingles has God damn it, I'm never going to be able to say that without laughing. You see Jingles kind of gets a little smirk on his face. Either somebody's breaking in here or something broke or fell. Oh, one of my posters fell. That's fantastic. It's okay. It's one of the shitty ones. Anyways, so is there anything else? You still have a movement and a bonus action, Jingles?
Can I see Koros?
Yes, you can see him dashing away from the dragon. It appears like he's heading towards a collection of snow-covered boxes.
All right, as he is going, I'll use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on him at 3rd level.
Okay.
And he will heal for 8, 11, 14 points.
Nice. So once again, you start to see the Jingles. So do you like jingle a song or something when you do this, or is it just a quick chant? Or like you got like a bell or something?
I look over to him and I can see that he's injured, and I again reach down and pick up a little snow and sprinkle it in his direction, and it turns into a bit of glitter, and it's time to spruce you up a bit.
Spruce.
In that you see this kind of willowing white dust kind of and surround him, and immediately there, Koros, you start to feel this warmth as your wounds your bruises start to disappear. The bite you took from the sharp fangs begins to stitch itself back together. I believe that is all for Jingles. The dragon roars and bellows. What are all the restrictions for that? Because I know that's a really complicated spell. The Phantasmal Force. He thinks he's locked in battle with this. He gets an action to try to break it. Is that correct?
The target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. If the check succeeds, the target realizes the phantasm is an illusion and the spell ends. While it is affected by the spell, the target treats the phantasm as if it were real. The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes of interacting with the phantasm.
Right. So this thing it's roaring and snapping and clawing. It's fighting something. You see it open its maw, and this glowing light appears again, and it releases a blast of wind and ice and snow as it shoots a massive cold breath out again. And unfortunately, I think that you didn't run and hide, did you there, Jingles?
I'm still in cover. I popped out.
Okay, you did
cast.
pop out. So that we'll say that gives you full cover, which means it won't hit you. You see it attack this blast of ice, destroying and wrecking the buildings next to you. You guys kind of can glance and see that several people that were in the end are now frozen statues or completely laying on the ground, pierced of like ice shards that have come from this dragon's maw. It beats its thundering wings, and it roars and bellows and is just angry and begins to gradually take off flight as it begins to move away from whatever it is engaged with. Chiron, what are you going to do? It is now probably a short distance up off the ground.
Off the ground? Could I move and get into melee range with him?
He is about a short distance off the ground, which means he's approximately 30 feet up off the ground. So you could attempt to climb to the roof, and you'd be close enough to be within melee range. Would you like to do that?
Yes, I would.
All right, it'll require an athletics check. I'll grant you advantage because there's boxes right next to you where you were hiding. So go ahead and give me an athletics check. Because it's slippery and icy, your DC is going to be 14.
Natural 18.
All right, so you kind of dust off one of the little windowsills. You jump from your box onto the sill, and you kind of pull yourself up onto the roof. You kind of dash towards the edge of the roof. It's very slippery up here, so I'm going to need a DC 10 dexterity saving throw to see if you slip. And then if not, you will be right within range, or within engagement distance as it's beating its wings and rising up.
That is a 17.
Right. Your foot kind of slips as the snow kind of creates like an avalanche off the side of this roof, but you're able to get within range. What are you going to do? It's beating, thrumming wings in your face.
I'm going to take my 2 attacks against him with my short sword.
Okay.
Let's see. The first one... Does 14 hit?
No.
Okay, the second one is a 23.
Yes. Roll damage. Is it a short sword, you said?
Yep. 4 points of piercing.
Do you add your dex or strength to that?
Yes.
Did you get like a 1 or something?
Yeah.
So as you make your way to the edge of this slippery roof, the thrumming and the beating of the wings is making it hard. As you're swinging and trying to cut into this thin membrane-like wing, its erratic movement from whatever it's fighting is causing it to move in unanticipated ways, making it very difficult for your experience to compensate and get a good solid hit in. But there is a couple, you managed to make a couple slashes that just happen to move in the path of the thrumming wing in its erratic movement and get a couple good scrapes in its wing. You hear it bellow. It turns and it kind of looks at you, and then it looks back to empty space and looks back at you. Clearly it's trying to decide what the bigger threat is, and it kind of looks back straight at whatever this invisible Krampus creature is that it's engaged with. That used your movement and your action. You have a bonus action remaining.
Don't have much. Dang. I really don't want to waste that spell because that'll use up my last remaining second level spell slot. So I won't move.
All right. Chorus, you are currently dashing towards a spot of safety. You're about a short distance away from it at the moment.
If I move into the cover, can I still attack this turn?
Yes, sir, you can. As long as
Okay.
you can attack something within medium range, which is about 60 feet. Shouldn't be a problem for your Eldritch Blast. That thing has a stupid, crazy range, I think.
Currently, how far is the dragon away from me?
As you're in movement towards your target, it is a short distance, about 30 feet. When you get to cover, it'll be medium.
Okay.
So you have a good 60 feet or so.
I think I'm going. I can. You said I can attack first and then move into cover.
Yep. Or you can move and then move into cover and still attack. The cover is not going to stop you.
I think I'm going to use Witch Bolt on the rider.
Okay. Keep in mind there is a range limit to that.
Yes, at 30 feet.
Okay. Now, if you cast it, you're within range, but it's a channeled effect. So if you move out of range to your cover, I think, will it be beyond the channeled range effect of that? Because it says it has, if something moves out of range, you lose the effect. And I don't want to see you waste a spell.
Oh, that's true. It says the spell also ends if the target is ever outside the spell's range.
And currently it is flying up as well as you're running away. So just keep that in mind. While you can do that, you'll probably lose the rest of the channeled effect from it.
No, you're totally right.
And I would hate to see you waste that.
That's good looking out. Okay, so then I guess I'll continue to move into cover and fire Eldritch Blast.
All right, so like a baseball player, you dash forward and you slide in right behind some boxes, grabbing onto it and kind of pivoting around. So you're kind of hiding behind it. Go ahead and give me some attack rolls.
Is the rider, is he back on the saddle, or is he still hanging off?
He has made his way back up to the saddle at this point. You guys have observed the fact that he hasn't made any offensive moves yet. And as adventurers, you would, in your experience, you'd find that odd. He obviously has plenty of confidence in his beast for some reason. So.
Okay, so since I'm behind him now currently, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to these two Eldritch Blasts are going to be Grasp of Hadar, and they're going to move that creature in a straight line 10 feet closer to me per blast.
He just got back in a saddle, and you're going to rip him out of it again?
I am, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying to get him on the ground.
I got you. Give me 2 attack rolls.
Perfect. Okay. 19 for the first one and 13 for the second one.
So, yes, one of those will hit. Go ahead and give me a damage roll, please.
Is 13 points.
So once again, you channel this dark energy. It rushes through your body into your palm, creating this purple and black dark energy. As you launch 2 blasts, they streak across the sky. Unfortunately, with his back turned, he doesn't notice you, and one of them manages to catch him right in the lower side. But your aim is off slightly with the erratic movement of the dragon, so the other one passed safely over him, hitting the topped crest of a chapel tower just in the distance. And you hear a loud ringing, dong, as your blast smashes into it, and you see it crumble and fall, smashing down the chapel as it begins. This big giant bell crumbles to the ground with a loud thud as it hits the ground.
Wow.
What? Too much?
Nothing.
As you've caught him, this energy, you have like a black, almost like a tether that was attached to almost like a harpoon, and you make a pull motion as it drags him from the top of the dragon, and he begins to try to grapple on to its rear leg as it's falling, and as he's falling, he tries to grab onto that rear leg and crashes to the ground into the snow with a loud thud. You've seen, just as he was falling, a big crack in this icy-like armor that he had over top of him, with a little bit of billowing dark energy from that area as he hits the ground. You still have anything with a bonus action?
I don't believe I have any bonus actions here.
Right. Copy that. So the dragon then roared and gave a great beat from its leathery wings, knocking the heroes from their feet. The dragon then landed, shaking the buildings of the town, and that's when the dragon's rider stood up from the ground. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, and mount to the sky. So too did the dragon, leaving Ryder behind, whose motives were clearly seen as malign. He wore a pale armor from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. You heroes are doomed, the night will soon be unbound. And as he spoke, he slammed his great ice sword into the ground. And then with a twinkle, like dark icy omen, from the frozen earth rose many wicked-looking snowmen. The warrior began to cackle, drawing his sword from the snow. My minions will take care of you, for I have to go. The warrior turned and vanished into the storm, while his minions finally finished taking form. I totally goofed that. The warrior turned and vanished into the storm, while his minions finally took their form. The snowmen closed in, their eyes black as night, but the hero stood fast. They're ready for a fight. So this man clearly isn't as interested in you. Whatever happened with his dragon, he flew off in the distance. He summoned these giant snowmen, or these snowmen that are beginning to make their way towards you guys. And he kind of just walked down an alley and disappeared into the storm. So we have an option here. We can go ahead and give you guys new initiative rolls if you want, or if you're happy with them, we can keep them and continue forward with this next phase of this fight.
I'm okay with whatever. I'm okay with my current one.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, of course,
Same.
Jingles is. You got a fucking 20. So I'll go ahead and roll in new initiatives for the groups.
Did dismounting him do something, or what was it?
he
A
fell-
damage
he-
that he reaped? or
He
something?
fell to the ground and he took some fall damage, in addition to your blast. And maybe you scared him off. You're not quite sure.
Okay.
Why did he change his tact? You guys are unsure.
And the dragon flew away the moment he took that fall damage.
Yeah. And it almost looked like he appeared to still be fighting with something as he was flying through the air.
Nah. Okay.
So now,
Joe's phantasm.
or so it would seem. Any questions thus far?
Not really.
Oh, this is dope. So you see these 8 snowmen begin making their way towards you guys. 3 are heading towards you, Kuros. 3 are heading towards Jingles, and 2 are making their way. They're kind of on top of the snow. They're not so much walking as they're like gliding towards you guys. And then 2 towards Chiron and down the as he's standing atop the edge of that building. They're kind of making their way towards the building. So their initiatives here, and here. That's 3, 2, 3. Damn it, Jingles, and you're 20. So these snowmen have formed. You see that they've got these black beady eyes, and their arms are made out of not so much snow, but appear to be made out of like flowing ice, I guess. I guess it was that fucking water. I'm an idiot. His arms appear to be made out of like jagged icicles with sharp talons as they're sliding towards you.
Well then, what are you snaring at? And with that, Jingles will whip his drum around from his hip and slam down on it a couple of beats, and I cast Thunder Wave at 2nd level.
Oh, snap.
You paralyze your opponent.
All right, that is a Constitution save.
Con save, DC 14.
Oh, man, this isn't good for them. All right. Oops, sorry. All right, 2 of them have failed.
Then they will take 17 points of damage and be pushed 10 feet back, and the other one will take half.
The 2 are going to be tossed back and take 17. The other one's going to take half, you said?
Correct.
So as you, so I don't know if you guys know, most people do Thunder Wave wrong. I just found this out recently through a sage advice. It doesn't center around you at all. I don't know if anybody know that. I've always treated it that way. That's not right. Is that how you guys use it? Like it's an outward force from around you, or do you do it right?
Let me check the spell real quick.
Because based on the rulings, it's actually at like a point starting from you, like more of a shockwave, like out from your palm that direction, or it was weird. I didn't like it, but greatly extends the range of the spell. But anyways, so do you hold out a bell and you ring it and a thunderous noise erupts from it?
No, I have a drum.
Oh, you have a drum?
Beat on the drum. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Did you say that and I missed that? I apologize.
I even made a drum pun. What are you snaring at?
Oh my fucking god. Matt, is that how you feel every time I do a pun?
Yeah.
You just want to facepalm? So you beat on your drum with this loud thunderous noise. Two of the snowmen, their bodies almost erupt into like a shriveled form. Imagine if chunks were taken out and they're blasted 10 feet, smashing up against one of the buildings. The other one stood its ground. It fortunately was kind of stammered just behind those two, and they took the brunt of the blast. He kind of slides back just a little bit and begins moving towards you. The other two, they're all sickly looking. Chunks are taken out of them. Their parts are melting. One of them's missing an arm as they begin to gradually try to move back towards you. Anything else? They are still within a short distance away from you, though. Well, two of them are. One of them is. The other two are at a medium distance now.
All right. I will use my movement then to move over towards Koros.
Okay. You begin moving towards Koros and getting to where he between the buildings and up to where he's hiding behind the boxes. As you do, you hear like a deep, almost like a burst of blistering wind already over the howling wind from the blizzard outside, and you feel and start to see the snow around you begin to blast around you, and all three of them are going to make are going to do a frost breath. So I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
All right, that will be a 23 total.
And you are going to succeed. So the first one is 4, 6, 4. So you're going to take 7 points of damage as all of them release this pounding, icy, chilling breath, kind of like a mini version of whatever the dragon was using. As it blasts towards you, you succeeded your saving throw, so it's only half as much with the blast of air. Wow, that really isn't nearly as effective as I was hoping. Goddamn Dex space character. No. All right, Chiron, what are you going to do? You just saw these things get tore apart from the beat of Jingle's drum. God damn it. And they open their maws, and you see these ice-sharp teeth and blasted cool wind that didn't seem... it was mostly shrugged off by Jingles. But there's two directly below you, about 10 feet down, looking up towards you with their black beady eyes.
All right, since the dragon is gone, I'm assuming.
Well, as far as you can tell, he flew away.
All right then. Bonus action, Thunderous Smite.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to jump down and attack one of them.
All right, give me an athletics check to see if you take any fall damage, please. Thank you.
Athletics.
What are you rolling, a bowling ball over there?
It's the table, all right? I rolled an 11.
Okay. You jump down. Go ahead and give me an attack roll on one of the critters below you. It sounds like he's bowling, right? Is that just me?
That is... Hang on. 19 to hit.
Yes.
And he and that one takes an extra 2d6 points of thunder damage. And it must, additionally, if the target is a creature, it must succeed on a strength save or be pushed 10 feet away from you and knocked prone.
Okay, that's probably not going to go too well. It's certainly going to fail.
All right.
Give me a damage check. So I guess the question would be then, would it be knocked away before he got his second attack, pushing it out of melee range or out of engagement?
I mean, I could attack the second one.
Because I'm trying to decide, because if let's say for a minute your attack kills this creature with one blow, then not a big deal, you turn and attack another one. But if it's Thunderous Smite and pushed it out of the way and didn't die, then you would have to then move into range with it, which would then provoke op attacks from the other one you're standing next to.
That's true.
So I guess, Joe, 1 second.
8 points of piercing damage and 4 points of thunder damage.
So 12 total?
Yep.
So, Joe, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I think it would be one, then the Thunder Smite, and then pushed out of range before he could attack again. What are your thoughts? I'd like another DM's input.
Yeah, that makes sense, because the Thundering Smite would take effect before he has a chance to even swing his second attack.
I agree. All right. I just want to make sure I'm making the right call on that. All right. So as you jump down from this building, you land with a loud thud. As you're coming down, your blade is swinging with a very loud humming-like noise, and as you hit the creature, it erupts with a loud shouting out, and it blasts the snow and the snowman in the area around him, leaving a crater of blast, and as it drags him or pushes him several feet back, leaving a little trench of where he was standing. What are you gonna do? You took a big kind of chunk off of him. There's a big wound, kind of a big section of missing snow. I wouldn't say wound. You don't see no blood or anything, but it definitely. You see it kind of tremble a little bit, and its left arm kind of just falls off.
I don't want to provoke an op attack from the other one, so I'm going to attack him instead.
Okay.
That is a 17 to hit.
Yes.
8 points of piercing and 7 points of thunder.
8 points of piercing and 7 points of thunder.
Yep.
That's 15 points. Are you doing the Thunderous Smite again, or is it just part of both part of that attack as well?
It's a concentration spell.
Okay.
So
both of them. All right. So it needs a strength saving throw, which is going to fail because it's not super fantastic. So as you land and create this loud, ringing thunderous, pushing the other one back, you kind of do a horizontal slash and hit the one standing beside you. And the ringing thunderous noise explodes out, sending out the noise as it pushes him, and he skitters, and it lands right up against the building with a loud shake. Snow from the top kinds to fall down and land right around you guys. And
that's the end of my turn.
Though. Okay. All right. Those two are not too happy with you. They begin, pulling themselves together, literally. You start to see some of the snow underneath them starts to kind of fill in some of their open wounds as they both move towards you and charge for an attack. They kind of look at you, stare at you from a kind of a crisscross angle, and they both open their icicle fanged maws, and you start to see that ice kind of form, and a blast of shards of ice and cold come blasting out of the both of them, and I needed 2 dexterity saving throws.
2 dex saves. That is an 11 and 13.
So the blasts both catch you from both sides. You kind of look, and you try to shield yourself the best as you can. You kind of cover up your face, and these blasts rush into you. Several little cuts and wounds and chilled blast of ice kind of chunks hit you and cut and slit and cause a little bit of bruising. You take 11 points of damage.
Wow.
Yeah, well, not everyone can save against everything, Mr. Jingles.
Hey, for the record, that dragon took out most of my health with its breath at the beginning.
You will die. All right. Koros.
He's gonna kill me this session.
But it won't be with disintegration ray, right? You're gonna be okay.
If memory serves, I didn't give Jack Frost disintegrate, so you should be okay.
Remember, I made changes. All right. What are you going to do, Koros?
So I have, what, you said 3 snowmen coming for me?
Yep. They're a short distance away and are barreling towards you.
Well, I'm going to create a bonfire.
What?
Yeah, I have a cantrip called Create Bonfire. It's a snowman, right?
Fuck. Yeah, you can. You can do that. You most certainly can do that. All right. And where is said bonfire landing? Between you, on one of them, or between you and them, or near you?
I would say let's do on one of them, whichever one is closest to me.
Okay. All right.
They have a DC of 15, it looks like. Dex 15 is what it said.
Dex 15. All right. What all does this entail? Obviously, you create fire. I get that part. How much damage does it do?
At my current level, 2d8.
Oh, fuck.
So, does it hit?
Yeah. It's fucking fire and they're snowmen. Yes, he's going to take full damage. They didn't roll very good.
So, 13 total.
So as you hold out your hand, you call upon the powers of the flames of the 9 hells, and kind of a crack opens up in the ground. You see some snow fall in, and just a blast of fire comes up and begins circling into a ring where this thing is standing, and you start to see it just begin to melt rapidly. It begins shaking and flailing. I don't even know what kind of noise they would make. If they made noise, they would probably be screaming in agony right now. Go ahead and roll damage. Wait, did you roll damage? Yeah, you did. 13.
Yeah,
I already wrote it down.
13 total. And the fire lasts 1 minute too.
So as this thing is being blasted by this bonfire of the 9 hells, its skin begins. Its skin. It's not wearing. Its fucking snow entire body begins to gradually melt, and the only thing that's left is like the witch from the Wizard of Oz, as all that remains is your flame and a little bit of puddle of what used to be the one of the snowmen, and steam starts to rise and creates kind of like a fogging effect, and you see that it kind of starts to encase where they were at. So yeah, you melted his face, but now you've created a small like little fog field there.
Okay.
So it is difficult to see in, but not impossible. You can still see the outlines of these creatures.
That's okay. It's a cantrip. I can use it many more times.
Ah, fuck. Anything else? You still have movement as well as your bonus action.
I guess I'll like step back a little ways, just to keep the distance between us constant, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So are you gonna try to take refuge in one of the available alleyways? Because if I'm not mistaken, you were still hiding behind some cover. You hadn't moved, and Jingles has made his way to you as well. Wait, did you make it all the way? I don't recall. You did make it all the way, right, Jingles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did make it all the way. I made it all the way into the cover on the other side of the dragon.
Right.
Then I fired my Eldritch Blast.
And Jingles is there with you. So, all right, so you're going to try to move away from your cover down like an alley, or just keep moving back to create more distance, but not necessarily try to hide for cover?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep moving back to create distance.
All right, so you're gonna move so you kind of you melt this creature, and you basically dash away from Jingles, leaving him cowering behind some boxes as these critters are beginning to approach. Don't think I missed anything. So now you've got the ones Jingles were fighting is approaching, as well as the ones that were approaching Koros. Anything else?
I think that's it. I end my turn.
So as you begin dashing away, Jingles, you kind of recognize as you see them begin to open their maw as the two of them as their buddy melted. Now it doesn't have no AoE damage, right? It's just kind of
Just a creature that's in the bonfire.
You know what? Fuck that shit, man. There's snowmen right next to a goddamn bonfire. They're gonna take something. Go ahead.
It's a 5-foot square fire.
But
there's going to be some heat.
Yeah, and I don't think the spell does anything, but I think in this situation I'm gonna allow it to do a little heat damage. So why don't you go ahead and roll me a d4, and we'll do whatever is on that dice to the nearby creatures.
2.
Okay. So they begin. Their skin begins to melt just being by the fire, so they begin scooting their way towards where you were at. They get right on the other side of where Jingles is, and they open their maw and try to blast both of you as you're running. Their range is short distance. No, it's only 15. So it looks like the only person that's going to catch it is they're both going to attack Jingles.
But I'm behind cover.
You are behind cover, which means you have a bonus to your how does that work with saving throws? I would say we can grant you because advantage is too strong. How does that work with saving throws? Is it just like a +2 to your bonus?
Because
it's a save throw.
I believe if you have full cover, then you're covered. If you have partial cover, then I think you have advantage on saving throws.
We'll go with that then.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is relevant or not, but it also says in the description here, the bonfire ignites flammable objects in its area that aren't being worn or carried.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why I decided to let it do AoE damage, because it is supposed to burn stuff. So, even though it doesn't normally do that, and if you're the type of DM who prefers raw and you don't like my ruling, shove it. Situational awesomeness.
All sorts of DMs. I can deal with whatever.
Well, I wasn't talking to you. There's any listeners or anybody that's watching. Sometimes there's people who will have issues with people who don't follow Raw. I'm not a good Raw person. It makes sense that in that situation that would be more effective. So I made it that way. But I'm sure there's somebody that will end up listening to this later. You know. By the way, it just occurred to me that my camera really does look like a robot face. Like I just noticed that there's 2 little lines, and then like it's got a little downspout, and then like a little line, and it looks like a face. And I've never noticed that in the 9 months that I've had it. Sorry, that's derailing a little bit, but I have to give him a name now. Johnny 5. That's already taken. All right. So what is your save there, Jingles?
19.
Well, of course you're gonna succeed. Because, that's how you roll, apparently. So you are going to take... God damn, I didn't do very good. You're going to take 5 points of damage. So this icy shards come, lashing out of their maw and try to freeze you. Fortunately, you're hiding behind these boxes, and especially due to your short nature, most of them avoid you, but your foot's kind of hanging out, and the one of them your foot kind of gets caught by one of these icy cold spears. Top of the initiative, Jingles. How would you like to respond to these little bastards?
Can I position myself in such a way that I can launch one of them into the bonfire?
Absolutely, you can.
Alrighty, then I'm gonna go ahead and position myself to cast Thunderwave and knock one of them into the fire.
All right. What is the save for that? 14?
14. And I'm gonna cast it at first level.
Okay, well, they both failed, so they're both going to fly back.
Alrighty, and they will both take 16 points of damage. I rolled max damage.
Snap. So As you blast them away and send them, you bang on your drum, creating the shockwave. One goes flying towards the fire, and as he lands in it, his body begins to kind of separate with a loud tss as it hits the fire, and then whatever's left during the separation just kind of fizzles into smoke. Once again, creating a more shadowy fog. The steam actually is now beginning to spread and creating a dense area. As he explodes, though, you start to see jagged ice spikes erupt from him and shoot in all directions, and sends shattering icicles in all directions with piercing the wood you were hiding behind, shooting through a window, and you hear a scream and a yell. Somebody screaming, "Oh no, father!" And then the other one gets blasted and smashed into the nearby building's wall, and once again erupts and shatters and sends spikes in all directions. Once again, going through different windows, you start hearing screaming coming. "No, mama, papa, please no!" As all you can see is these shards shooting in all directions.
All right, and then I am going to move my full movement away from the other 3 snowmen that are approaching me, taking cover wherever I can find it.
All right, so as you turn around and head towards as you look down to your left and to your right, you on your right is where you're hiding cover. There is an alleyway between a much smaller building and like a 2-story building. One where the noise and screams, one of the screams came from inside. As you're dashing down that aisle, you can actually look in and you can see a little light flickering, and you see an elderly man on the ground. Over top of a middle-aged man and a young boy who appears to be bleeding out from the jagged ice shards that went everywhere. And you are able to get out of line of sight from the critters who are approaching.
Okay, and that's all I can do because I already cast a spell and I can't cast anything but a cantrip. And I don't have any bonus action cantrips.
Alrighty then. The 3 that were making their way towards you, you kind of left them in your dust. Let's see if their thing recharges. Yes. No. Okay, somebody's got like some thrumming coming through. Who is that?
That's probably me.
Okay.
The fan of my computer is firing all pistons.
Okay. All right, you it shut off though, so thank you, whatever you did. They begin making their way around, and unfortunately, Koros has dashed away, and Jingles is out of line of sight, so they all turn and look around. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I swear I don't do this on purpose. They all turn and start heading towards you, Chiron. They aren't... as they dash towards you, they get about a short distance away, and they kind of look around, and their maws open, and you start to see this smoke, or the steam kind of come out and starts to engulf the entire area. At this point, the entire area is covered in a fog cloud now.
Oh my gosh.
If it makes you feel better, I was only out to kill you when I was the player with Disintegrate. All right, Chiron, it is your turn. You saw these there. You have the 2 that you were engaged with, and you saw 3 more beginning to approach, and your allies are nowhere in sight. All you can see is this thick, heavy fog and the 2 critters in front of you.
The 2 critters in front of me, I can see.
Yes, it's like a fainted shadow in the through the fog, but you can see them.
All right, I'm gonna move towards the one that is furthest away from the fog.
They're both pretty close to you, just because of
Right.
the nature of your fight with them.
All right, I'm gonna go up to one of them and attack them.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Do I have advantage because they're knocked prone?
Does your attack knock them prone, or just back?
knock them prone.
Oh, fuck! Absolutely.
That is a 17 to hit.
Yes, roll damage. Oh no.
That is a 5 points of piercing and 7 points of thunder, so that's 12 total.
All right. As you bring down your thundering strike with a loud humming, the creature erupts and explodes in all directions, sending out icicle blades in sharp shrapnel in all directions. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, shoot.
Cool.
10?
All right, so as you create a thundering blow, this thing erupts, shattering, and the shrapnel shoots in all directions and also catches the other snowman. Several of the icicles pierce right through it entirely, and you see it kind of begin to stagger a little bit, and then it erupts, and both send out shrapnel in all directions. Your saving throw, you will take... well, that's not bad. 9 points of damage. That's not bad. You're all right. You'll be all right. Once again, the shrapnel starts piercing through. It breaks through glasses. You can hear the shattering glassing and the screaming and howling of people trying to take cover and hiding from it. Anything else?
There's still that other one.
No. The shrapnel actually took the other one out, and they both exploded. Because it does hit every creature, not just enemies. So when you destroyed one, it shattered and sent out shockwaves in all directions.
So there are 3 left, and that's the 3 that were chasing me?
Yes, but unfortunately you can no longer see them because it's heavily obscured by fog in the area.
I would like to make a perception check to end my turn.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check. Or what are you trying to perceive first? Let's start with that.
I'm trying to see if there are any other of the snow creatures left.
Well, there's at least 3 because they're the one that cast the fog cloud that the steam cloud that you're in.
Right.
But you can give me a perception check at disadvantage though, looking through the heavily obscured fog.
Natural 20 and natural 1. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's the worst.
Isn't that the worst?
That's the worst kind of disadvantage advantage roll.
So as you try to peer through the thickness, all you can see is a little bit of movement in some relatively a surprisingly large shadows or something. You're not exactly sure. It might be just a trick of the torchlight from outside of the buildings reflecting on the fog coming through the into the area. You can hear, but what you do notice is you can hear in the building nearest to you, you can hear some whimpering and crying from which sounds like it's coming from children.
I walk towards the direction of the crying.
All right. You peer into a window and you see underneath a table 2 children cuddled around a third child and a mother, and the third child is laying with a pierced spike through its chest, bleeding out, as the mother is tearing and crying, and she looks up at you and says, "Help us, please. Can you help my baby boy? Samuel, please. He's bleeding. I don't know how to make it stop." And we will move to Jingle's turn.
All right. I look into the window, seeing the man bleeding out. Mm-hmm. And is the window open? Is it closed?
It's closed, but it has it's broken really badly from the shrapnel.
All right, then I will pick up a little bit of snow and I'll blow it in, and don't worry, he'll be fine. And I'll use a healing word on him.
I heard that.
I got it. That's funny. How much does he recover?
He will heal for 6.
So this healing wind and cool breeze wraps around him. with a small jingle in the noise of the spell as he breathes it in and it rushes in his body, and you start to see the icicle in his chest gets kind of pushed out, and his wound sticks back together, and he kind of sits up and he's checking himself. What happened? I could have swore I was dead. Kid, we need to get in the back room immediately. And he kind of just looks up you for an instant and sees that he clearly assumes that the power came for you, and he kind of gives you a nod. Thank you, kind stranger.
I wink and touch my nose and kind of duck away from the window, and then I drink one of my healing potions.
All right. And you hear him say, "Come on, kids, let's get out of here quick. Take cover. Let's go in the back room." And you can hear the scampering into the back room, and there's blood all over the floor.
That will heal me for a total of 18.
You pop another potion?
Yep.
Go. And down it. All right. Anything else?
I will...
Where were you planning on heading when you ducked away from the room?
Just kind of like spin, so I'm just on the other side, just outside the window still.
Okay. All you can see is this entire alleyway in this entire central walkway where heavy traffic goes is completely encased in this heavy, dense area of this fog, and you can't see very well. You can see kind of shadows from the flickering of the torches on the outsides of the buildings, but that's about it. Do you want to go ahead and give me a perception check, please? See if I can give you a little more information.
Okay. That is... Where's my perception score? An 18.
So... Excuse me. As you try to pierce this, you swear you see something probably 8 or 9, a shadow 8 or 9 feet tall, but you're unable to discern if it's just a trick of the light bouncing off the fog or not, near the center of the fog towards Chiron's direction.
I'm going to whistle really loudly.
Okay, and what is it you're hoping to do with your whistle?
I'm just going to... Where is it? There it is. I'm going to whistle really loudly and... Oi, resting Grinch face! I think I have the final sleigh here.
The shadow you were kind of looking at, you see it kind of move a little bit, and it almost appears if it's getting larger. Oops. Anything else?
That is all I'm gonna do.
Okie dokie. Kind of as if to answer your whistle, that shadow gets larger and larger, and then bursting out of the fog is this ginormous snowman, easily 3 times the size of the creature you were fighting. You notice that it has several collections, actually 6, black eyes on its head, and it's got 6 limbs on its body as it begins tearing towards you, and it reaches out with these icy talons and tries to grapple you. Give me a contested grapple check. You have to beat... that's not bad. 17. You can probably do that. You have pretty high dex.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a luck point to add a d20 to my roll. Roll an additional d20.
Okay.
Okay, that's much better. I rolled an 18, and then am I adding my dexterity save or acrobatics?
It's a contested grapple check, so it would be acrobatics.
Okay, so then that's a total of 21.
All right, so this thing reaches out and tries to grapple you with all 6 of its limbs. You kind of bob and weave and twist. As it's reaching out to you, you're able to kind of block. You pull up you actually block it and push it away with your drum for a minute. As you are able to avoid it, it tries to reach down and it begins grabbing you again and trying to swipe at you this time. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make another contested check to see if it can grapple you before I move on.
I hope you're aware that I am a bit claustrophobic.
Oh, fuck. 19. That's still not very good.
I got a 19 on the die.
Okay. So as it's reaching out and trying to grapple you, once again, you're parrying, you're pushing away. Your small stature allows you to easily avoid these things. You start to see it get really frustrated as its giant fangs, roar as it bellows at you. You can feel its cold breath on your flesh. Chiron, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna run in the house and try to heal the boy.
All right. The boy is severely injured. Go ahead and cast your spell. Which one are you using? Lay on hands?
I'm using my lay on hands, using 5 points of those.
All right. You touch his body, and your hand begins to glow with this orange essence, and it rushes from your hand as you chant to Bahamut and call upon his praise as your energy rushes and fills this, causing this little boy to glow. Once again, you start to see the wounds stitched together, and his lifeless eyes blink to open, and he starts trembling, and he's shaking. You can see nothing but pure fear in his eyes. They had the other children in there too, right? The other children kind of, oh, Jom, are you okay? You're okay, and they start all hugging each other. Anything else? You still have I would say that only required about half your movement, so you could still move back to the door if you want to look out. Or you still have was that a bonus action? That's an action for lay on hands, I believe.
It was an action.
Okay. So you have a bonus action and half your movement left.
I'm going to take the other half of my movement to get out of the house.
All right, so you're able to make it to the door once again. The fog is starting to trickle into the house and starts to begin to fill it almost like a house on fire with smoke. To even in the house is completely becoming very dark or difficult to see through. You can still see the shadow, but it appears to have shrunk a little bit, as if it maybe is smaller, or the trick of the light has given you the impression that what you saw was an illusion. You can hear laced insults and roar and bellowing coming from your right towards where you saw the Jingles and Koros before the fog erupted and obscured your view.
Okay. And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Koros.
So what can I see?
A giant billowing cloud of smoke of fog.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say smoke and steam, but it's neither. It's fucking fog. But all you can see is this big billowing thing of fog that's beginning to overtake the buildings. You can hear the screams of the victims from the exploding shrapnel, the icicle shrapnel. You can hear some laced insults coming from Jingles, and some bellowing and roaring coming from somewhere inside. But it's deep and unfamiliar compared to what you've been facing.
Well,
and that would be
I guess I head towards the noise of Jingle, since he's swearing, so he's
all right.
Clearly something's going on.
Well, I don't know if he's swearing, but he's definitely insulting the critter. Is that correct, Joe?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Birch, please.
God, I love you, Joe. Birch, please. I assume he's referring to the trees. So you begin dashing forward. At about near the end of your movement back, you get into the deep fog. Once again, you can hear the scruffling of fighting, but you can't quite see something. Give me a perception check to see if you can, what kind of shadows and other clues you can sense.
Okay. My perception is terrible.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's 8 minus 1, so 7.
All right, so you can kind of see some kind of, because of the torches on the buildings, you can see the dancing shadows off of the fog, and you can hear the scuffling of feet. You can hear the noise generated by rash, quick, responsive movement. You swear you hear somebody swiping and blocking with a drum, but you're not exactly. You kind of have an idea it's off in a direction, but it's kind of echoing off the buildings a little bit, so you're not exactly sure where to make your move. You were able to, so you still have an action and a bonus action. Now, per the rules, you can always attempt to shoot into nothing and hope you hit something. It'll be at disadvantage. Keep in mind, I am not adverse to you hitting the wrong person.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
Or you can take the dash action to continue moving deeper into it towards what sounds you think you hear.
I'll take the dash action.
All right. I got it. Give me 1 second to make sure I got this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
All right. So as you begin dashing in, you can hear. You start to see this shadow, relatively large, a good probably. You see this vague shadow, a little bit about the size of the snowman. You think it could be one, but you're not sure. You get close enough, but you're unable to identify whatever it said critter is. Do you have any bonus actions?
No, nothing I have as a bonus action except for like under bonus action it just says 2-weapon fighting. So.
Also keep in mind, if you are attacked, if I'm not mistaken, you should have access to Hellish Rebuke.
Yes, I do.
So
I
keep
just
that in
haven't
mind.
used it
Yeah,
yet.
I just wanted to make sure.
Bonfire still going?
What is the duration on that? Maybe
1 minute.
Oh, it is certainly going. So you can actually. I apologize. I totally forgot about that after it killed all my monsters, fucker. You can actually see some flaring light over by that you passed where you and just beyond where you and Jingles was hiding. So it is very muffled and very dim, and that's also adding to the casting of shadows. But it does give you a beacon of location as a reference point, because right now everything is very difficult to see. So that actually gives you a reference point, which is nice.
Cool.
All right, Jingles.
Alrighty. So as a halfling, I can move through any creature that is larger than me square.
Which it
and
is.
will you allow me to make an acrobatics check in order to attempt to avoid the attack of opportunity to slide between his legs?
Are you trying to get? So you're trying to slide between his legs and get out of range, right?
Yeah.
Because technically, I think from a rule standpoint, that is more of a disengage action you're trying to do. But I'll tell you what: if you're willing to consume your bonus action and take disadvantage on the check, I will let you do that because I gotta consume some sort of resources. Otherwise, what's the point of the disengage action?
Alrighty, I will go
think
ahead
that's a
and
fair trade-off?
make my bonus action for this. And also, as I get between his legs, I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Oh, of course you are.
So let's go ahead and see if I can do this.
All right, yep.
Actually,
I won't even make the DC that high since the resource cost is kind of high. But I kind of want to discourage that sort of stuff.
well, I rolled a 15 and a 16.
I'm going to give it to you, goddammit.
And I will go ahead and, as I am sliding, I'll call out to my allies, when you hear this, you know the drill! And I will hit him with a...
Now you know how I feel, Justin.
Wave,
Yeah, it's true.
will
What is the...
Con of 14.
And he is going to fail. Since you can keep in mind he's a snowman, so you have to be casting this as you're getting towards his feet because he doesn't really. He's just a big ball, right? You know, so you kind of blast him. Are you trying to blast him up? Or
Yes.
Okay, I kind of figured that's what you were going for. So as you dash, you kind of baseball slide into where his feet should be, but you kind of just get stuck in the snow, and then quickly chant your spell or bang on your drum, and you send a shockwave out, ringing and thundering, in both sharing your location with both Chiron and Kairos. You both recognize that noise and instantly get an idea of the direction that the battle is going in. As this creature gets blasted up into the sky, 10 feet?
Yeah, and takes 27 points of damage.
No,
Damn.
fudge.
Good hit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but now I'm out of third level spells.
We're not even to the end. I'm sorry. Anyways, so as the creature flies, it kind of as it comes follow. I just thought of something awesome, but I'll worry about that later. As it comes falling back down, it begins clawing and scratching and trying to do whatever it can to catch you. It is also going to take additional fall damage because 10 feet is still 1d6 damage. With a loud thud as it lands on top of you. Give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can get out of the way.
Oh.
15.
15?
Yeah, that should be easy.
Dexterity save. And 14.
Oh! So as you blast this thing up with your big drum, it goes up and then you have a clarity moment of, oh, bells, as it becomes crashing down and lands on top of you, and we're going to have you fall prone, and you are now grappled.
Oh.
But you do realize that its mass is missing several sections, as you blew your sound blew several chunks out of it. Blue chunks. Oh, I slay myself.
Oh.
All right. Anything else, Jingles?
Well, no, I have no movement. So.
Yep, because you're grappled now. All right. So
Rudolph, you.
So as you are grappled underneath this thing, it kind of reaches down with 3 of its long ice-made icicle hands and kind of gets a nice gold hold of you and holds you out in front of it, and all 3 arms reach out as it swipes you and tries to attempt to strike you. You're wiggling and twisting. Let's see how it goes. Now currently, I did that wrong. He's not going to pick you up because you're grappled and you're sitting underneath him. That's stupid. So he is going to begin choking you as you're sitting underneath him, and his claws are going to reach. His icicle claws are going to try scraping across you and attack you. Because you are prone, he has advantage, which isn't too big. 16 should still hit, maybe. I don't know. 16 hit. For his first attack.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a luck point, and I'm going to roll a d20 and decide which one is used. I rolled a 10.
Shit. Plus 5. That's still not going to do it.
Yeah, he still hits me.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he does hit you.
Yep.
Okay. So as he rakes across you with his first attack, he made a second attack, and that one actually does miss. And you are going to take... where is this? Uh, 8 points of damage as he rakes and starts tearing into you. Kyron, what are you going to do?
I'm going to get as close as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much of a distance is it? Short or medium?
You don't know. That's the problem. From a meta standpoint, you are probably a short distance. The problem is you don't know. You have a good idea where you need to go. So, but there is a possibility you might get lost. So, and I'm actually going to term that by a luck die. Okay. All right. Go ahead. So you're going to move towards the sound.
Yeah, short distance.
All right, so you dash into the you dash into the fog, and there you see this ginormous snowman sitting atop of this tiny little Jingles, and it's just scraping and clawing and slashing at him. What are you gonna do?
I am going to attack it.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
2 attack rolls. Well, one of them is going to miss, but that is 20 to hit.
What's that?
20 to hit.
Yes.
Oops. By the way, my Thunder Smite is still up, right?
It lasts a minute, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
4 points of piercing and 6 points of thunder.
As you begin to assault this massive creature with the 6 arms, it's swiping at him. As you begin to engage it first, it just holds out one of its arms and catches one of your blades, or catches your blade and kind of pushes it to the side. As you spin around and assault it again with several quick slashes, your blade humming, sending a shockwave. He still has to make a strength save, right?
Yes.
and he's going to succeed. So,
What'd you roll?
huh?
What'd you roll?
If you want to know, I rolled a 20.
Oh.
Not crit, but 20 total. Damn, you made me lose my train of thought with that. You're able to get a good solid couple swipes in as you begin cutting away, and one of his arms gets sheared off in the assault. Karos, you have heard the drum of your buddy Jingles, and you know where he is all the way over there.
Also, my Thundering Smite gives off an audible noise about 300 feet.
Oh, then you definitely know where it's at. Because I actually rolled like a random d20 to determine if he ended up in the right location. But
Okay.
you actually know exactly where you need to go because you had two audible booms giving you a good identification of where you needed to go in this heavily obscured area. Koros?
Yes.
It's your turn, boss.
Yes, sorry, I was reading something in the book here. So I can't see anything yet. Can I head towards the sound of battle?
Yeah, you yes, you actually have two audible sounds. You know exactly where you need to go. And you can dash towards it. Or move towards it. All right, so you come in. Unfortunately, as you approach, you see this big shadow. It's still hard to see from the distance you are. You will have to move into engaged range to see it from close enough to not hinder your attack.
Fuck it, let's do it.
All right, so you pull in right behind, right alongside Chiron, and you see this tiny little Jingle laying on the ground as he is being just pummeled and scraped by these icicle claws of the snowman. What are you going to do?
I'm going to Eldritch Blast the snowman, but I'm going to attempt to blow it away from Jingle.
Okay, that's good.
Using the... whatever it's called. Where'd all my shit go? Here we go.
I think you posted it to the Facebook.
Yeah, the repelling blast.
Okay.
And so I need to make a roll here. 2 rolls, actually. 13 probably doesn't hit. And 19. Does 19 hit?
All right, so you begin channeling this energy. This big, blustering, bulbous thing is attacking your friend. You channel your dark energy. The crackling energy rushes through your body and out through your palm, sending out these purple and black blasts right towards the creature. One, unfortunately, goes between two of its arms and smashes into the building, going through the window with a loud and you hear a scream. The other one catches it and takes out another arm. Give me damage roll, please.
Yes, that is 10 damage.
Wow.
With the arms kind of blasted off, it's kind of moving kind of clunkily. It roars. All right. You have a bonus action left, which you don't have.
No.
Okay.
Now that was repelling blast. That was.
That's gonna move. Okay, that's gonna move him. He needs to. That's automatic too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's gonna push him because I've got him grappled as him sitting on top of you and not as physically holding you. I'm going to go ahead and say that he's going to then slide off of top of Jingles with a loud as he slides into the nearest building, and it kind of it roars and kind of bellows a little bit. And their Jingles is still prone. Jingles, what are you going to do?
As the giant snowman kind of slides off of me, I groan a bit. Whew, it is the most wonderful time for a beer. And spend half my movement to stand up.
What, no eggnog? So yes, you get up with your jolly little chit-chatting. You still have half your movement as well as bonus and action.
Well, now then, this guy, he's no joke.
That's one of my favorites. I love that. I love
And
you, Joe.
I'll cast Vicious Mockery.
All right. He is going to fail his save. Yeah, it was 14, right? His target DC?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, he's going to fail that save. So that's a...
He will take 8 points of damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Okay. That's going to suck. Anything else there?
I will then use the rest of my movement to get behind my allies.
So you quickly duck behind your allies, running between the two of them, and kind of sliding and skittering to the side past them, kind of like that. You turn and look, and it roars and bellows, and its maw opens up at all of you. And you see this massive glow appear of blue and white wind as it begins to kind of funnel and twist, and this giant ice vortex comes blasting out. Give me a Constitution save, please.
You all have +3 if you're within 10 feet.
Yeah, Constitution save. I'm using the other one. So
All of us?
yes, as far as I understand, you are all part of this 30-foot cone.
Okay.
Because you guys were all within melee, right? And engaged. And then, what's his name? Jingles ran behind you. So it will encompass all of you.
That is a 22 for me.
21 for Kyron.
I got 12.
+3.
That's including the +3.
Oh, jeez.
It's like we're about to get elfed up.
Never heard that one before. That's a nice one.
But if he damages me, I can Hellish Rebuke.
That's true. Well, he's going to damage you because it's a cone effect. So, that is 52.
Fire damage.
Yeah, that is 52 points of damage. Of this ice breath attack, this cold breath. You take half if you succeeded. As this blast comes out and engulfs all of you. And that'll be its turn. The cold, the numbness starts to get to you. Does anybody go down? Nobody goes down, right?
I do.
Kyron goes down.
Who went down? All of you? No, you didn't all go down, did you?
I only have 24 hit points left.
But you're up, right?
I had 12.
Well, no, as in that's before the 52 hits.
Oh, geez. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I only had 14 hit points.
Oh, man, that's rough. Maybe I shouldn't have given it the white dragon breath. Hang on. All right, so is anybody standing?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, that's unfortunate. This thing...
Yeah, it killed us all, DM.
You're unconscious. You're not dead. I kind of planned for this. It's okay. Believe it or not. So, as you guys... you guys are going to... I think you're going to like this. This thing begins wreaking havoc. It begins clawing and tearing at the walls, attacking everything it can. And you see this... You don't see this. You guys begin to wake up. You each are going to restore 11 points of health each. I'm just going to roll it once, so I got to keep rolling it. And you guys, as you guys wake up, you see this elderly man and this old lady administering the people that the mother of the child who was healed and of the old man are dripping little potions into your mouths. Go, 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 as you guys are waking up. Now, I just want to say, it was planned. If you didn't help them and you died, that was it. So kudos to you, because the kids didn't do that, and two of them died. So, whatever. Anyways, that's beyond this. Anyways, so as you're waking up, you see this old man. Well, I know it's not much, but I want to say thank you for helping me. And he kind of looks over, and that's when you guys you see the creature is wrecking and slashing and cutting and destroying into buildings. Its breath weapon is terrorizing the city. He says, I don't have much more, but I hope this will help. And he gives you one superior potion out left.
Oh.
But he only has the one. So you have to decide who's going to use it.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have 2 potions of greater healing on me already.
And I've still got 1 potion.
All right, well then, give it to the person that he thinks he needs it. He says, please, can you save our village? It's destroying everything. It already killed my grandson and my my wife, my daughter-in-law. Please, can you guys stop it? You're the only ones. Look at over there. They tried to, and you just see 6 or 7 different appear to be adventurers, all their gear and loot, and just frozen icicles on the ground. You guys are breaking free of all the ice chilled on top of you.
I take the superior healing potion and chuck it. And
Chug it or chuck it?
Because I chug it down.
Those are 2 different things.
You waft the potion.
Sorry.
1. You're going to heal 13 points of health. Oh, I'm sorry. That's plus 8. So, was that 21?
Yeah, that's 21.
21 points. And I'm just going to reroll his initiative instead of... or do you guys want to reroll your initiative? Or what is your plan? Are you going to continue fighting this beast? It is terrorizing everything.
Yeah, why not?
And it just wrecked your shit, so...
We are here to save the day.
Well, you're about all we can count on, but you kind of already failed. But I hope we still need you.
You've heard of the hero's
failed
journey,
yet.
right? We have reached the point of apotheosis.
A what?
And the next part, well, we came, we'll thaw, and we'll conquer.
All right. Well, I
rolls his eyes.
I won't be able to help you again. All right. And he scurries back into the broken building. And now you see the building that he's in has got just a massive chunk taking out of it. You do notice that the critter is down to only 1 arm. It does look like the adventurers that he destroyed. You can see their bodies kind of littering the area. That noise is driving me nuts.
Sorry. I was adjusting the position of my mic.
I'm also going to down my last potion.
Yep. Okay, go ahead and roll and heal your guys self up to the best you can.
Okay, that'll heal me for 17.
You can see that they clearly injured it. You see part of its face is kind of melted, and it's only got 1 arm. But excuse me. But it definitely is still on a rampage. You actually look and see several of the houses are just completely encased in ice at this point.
I think our best bet is to send our noble friend here in for this fight. So, my friend, you have to believe in your elf. And I pat the paladin on the shoulder, giving him bardic inspiration. He gets a D8 to his next ability check, attack roll, or he can add it to one of his next rolls.
Sweet.
Okay, wonderful. All right, and with that, we will actually start the initiative at Chiron's turn.
All right. How far is the creature?
He's probably a long distance away at this point, so 3 movements approximately. He's made his way towards the edge of the town at this point as he's wrecking everything. He doesn't appear to like he's turning back yet, but he may. You don't know.
Okay. I'm going to double dash. I'm going to dash toward him, so that's 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an action, right?
Yep, it takes your action and your movement to move 60, so that leaves you at a short distance away. Would you like to take cover behind something?
Yes.
All right, so you duck into an alleyway, blocking, and just as you do, a blast comes shearing by and freezing part of the wall where you were just standing. Any bonus actions?
Nope.
Kuros.
I guess I will also dash towards the enemy.
I done screwed up.
How so?
You took the dash action right there, Chiron.
Yes.
I need you both, Chiron and Kuros, to give me dexterity saving throws. It's very slick. And dashing at full sprint, you can lose your
Is Kuros
footing.
within 10 feet of me?
No, because you took off first.
Okay.
And I done goofed and forgot to have you do the roll, so I'm gonna have you go ahead and do it. So he doesn't feel like he's the one getting stiffed only.
17.
You're okay when you kind of slide into the alley there. Chiron. Kuros, what'd you get?
5.
So as you dash forward, you get a good distance, and then your foot kind of slips out from underneath you, and you slam to the ground and slide another probably 10 feet. Chiron, you just see You just kind of see the sliding of Koros right out in front of the aisle as he just after the icy blast that hit the wall. So while that basically that'll get you the medium distance you needed, but it will not give you an opportunity to take cover. You still have a bonus action left, which you don't have anything, right?
Right. Correct.
All right. Jingles, you're up.
Alrighty, I will go ahead and move one. I'll move to the closest cover I can while still getting close to the creature.
All right, it is a long distance away, so you're able to move. If you move a short distance, you can take cover, but there's no check to stand up to fall from the ice. You saw them take off, and you saw Korra slip, so you decide to take it a little more cautious. You do see a couple of broken boxes. While they will provide a little bit of cover, they'll only provide cover because you're small. They would not have provided cover to anybody else.
All right, I will go ahead and use that, and then I will call out to my allies. Are we ready for this?
Yes.
Wonderful. Now then, let's see. He's quite the big oaf, wouldn't you agree?
Yes. As buildings are destroying.
That's for sure. It's all right. We're all rebels without a clause. And I'll go ahead and cast Vicious Mockery.
All right.
And I'll hit him for 6.
Oh my god, I swear to God, if I roll another number under a 5, I'm going to throw my dice away. Technically, it's my wife's pink dice, so she's cursing me right now. That's got to be it. So he's definitely going to fail because I rolled a freaking 5. 3. All right, and how much damage was that?
6.
As you lace your words with this powerful enchantment, he kind of and turns and looks at you down the way. At this point, most of the fog has begun to dissipate. So that kind of gives you an idea how long you were out. Because anybody trained in Arcana?
Not me.
Nature? No. Either one of those will work. No?
Arcana or what, you said?
Nature.
No.
Okay, then.
I got a 19 Arcana check.
You recognized the fog cloud spell, and the fact that it's dissipating means that at least approximately an hour has passed since you were knocked unconscious. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. Chiron.
Is he within short distance of me?
He is. You're currently hiding in an alleyway.
Bonus action, recasting my Thunderous Smite because I fell unconscious. And I'm going to charge right at him with both attacks.
All right. You rush at him, snow kicking up behind you, bellowing as you do. Your weapon is ringing with the familiar thrumming. Give me an attack roll.
I have a 19 and a 21.
Yes.
For both?
Yep.
Ooh. Dropping dice. Ooh.
No.
I got 4 points of piercing and 9 points of thunder for the first. Another 1 for the piercing damage.
Just one?
Plus my strength, which is a 4.
So, okay, 5.
And then 7 points of thunder, so that's 11 points total for that second attack.
Mm-hmm. All right, as you dash towards this creature in a barrage of assaulting strikes, you begin taking chunks out of his snow, carving almost like Zorro, carving your name into it almost. You're able to lop off a section of his head that takes 2 of his 6 eyes out, and he... I almost took myself.
I think he still needs to make that strength save.
Yep. Hang on. Oh, man. Brutal. 16 on the die.
Success.
Well, his strength's only it's plus. I made it plus 0.
Actually, he needs to make another save because I attacked twice with it.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. And he's going to fail that one. Does that knock him back? Right?
Push back 10 feet away from you and knocked prone.
So, as you hit him with the assaulting blast, with your ringing blow, it does a loud, erupting noise or charm or thrumming noise that sends a shockwave through its body. Its body kind of quivers and shakes and kind of distorts a little bit, and then it gets pushed back, sliding across the snow. Are you done?
Yep.
It kind of recovers with its one arm flailing, and it makes its way towards you and starts swiping at you twice with its mighty icy claws. First one is a 3. That's not going to do it. First one is an 11 plus... Where's it at? 5? 16. 16 hit.
He has disadvantage on the first.
Oh, you're right. Is it disadvantage just on the first one?
On the first attack roll, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, it was a 1, so...
What was the attack roll?
The first one was a 1 without the disadvantage. The second one still hit though, because
what was the attack total?
It only affects the 1, right?
Yeah.
It was 16 on the die, so plus 5, 21.
That hits.
But the first one missed for sure. And then we had. I mean, this isn't very much. He does his little swipe, doesn't do shit. He used up all of his oomph. 1d8. There we go. Yes, so that'll be 7 points of slashing damage.
Hey.
As he strikes across you, and then another 3 points of cold damage. I don't think I've made it a point of telling the differences between the damages. Maybe any of you guys got resistances? I don't think so.
Fire.
Yeah, I know the one's got fire. I don't think that's going to come into play. I just kind of been adding the dice together, but technically they're like slashing and piercing and cold and stuff like that, but I don't think it's a big deal. If it becomes a big deal, please let me know. And he begins clawing at you with his 1. He spins and does a strike attack. You see it coming, and you kind of block it straight up with your blast. He's kind of staggering. You can feel his attack kind of weakening, and you see his eyes kind of float over to Jingles for just an instant before coming back to you, giving you the opening to catch his first claw strike, and then he swoops around and spins and catches you in the side, drawing a little bit of blood. Karos.
Am I within short range of the creature?
You are.
I think I want to use...
You fell prone, though, if I'm not mistaken. Did you stand back up?
Well, this is my first turn, so I guess I have to stand back
So
first.
that takes up half your movement.
Okay. So I can't move, but I can attack, is what you're saying.
You can move half your movement, so you couldn't make it to him, but you probably could take cover in the alley you were trying to get to earlier. So, but yes, you can still attack.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and if I were to take cover in that alley, would I still be within short range?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so you quickly slide and duck into cover in the icy alley that just was where Chiron was just moments before.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. It's a good one. You can keep it channeled. No attack roll. Nice. Make it count.
Yes. So it says I need to make a ranged spell attack against the creature.
Yep.
So
14's your target number. Should be easy.
Oh, yeah.
I probably shouldn't have given that information to you guys.
So I got a 25.
Okay. That's going to miss the 14. That's way higher. No, I'm just kidding.
And then it's going to do 3d12 damage because it's a third level. Or at
shit.
Third level.
Roll damage, bro.
Okay. So D12.
This giant snowman's going to experience a shocking experience, huh?
Yeah, well, if I hadn't rolled shitty the whole time, I got 8 total.
For damage?
For damage, yeah. I rolled a 3, a 4, and a 1 on a D12.
So you hold out your fingers, and this black and purple crackling energy forms to your fingertips. And do you shout unlimited power when you do this? Because that's the only thing I can ever think of when I see people use this attack.
Unlimited power!
Yeah, why not?
So as you shout, this lightning leaps from your fingertips and begins surrounding and shocking this beast with the electrical energy rushing through its body, and you kind of see it start shaking a little bit. You do notice that parts of its body begin to kind of melt from your attack, and you see chunks of it kind of get blown out. And you've got holes kind of just appearing all over him. It almost looks like Swiss cheese at this point. Jingles.
Yes, it is my turn again. I will look over at Big and Ugly, and I will hit him with Vicious Mockery again.
All right.
I'll take a save, Constitution, or
Oh,
is it con?
Is it con? No, it's wisdom, isn't it? I was gonna say,
Wisdom.
well, it's both same modifier for me, but I was like, I don't think that's right. He is going to fail.
He will take 7 points of damage and have disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Do you have a really good quip for us now? Again?
I'm kind of burned out on them. This combat's taken way longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, I told you I changed it a little bit, a lot of it actually. But anyways, so as you send a Christmassy themed laced insults in regards to his snowy bottom, his eyes, once again, Kyron, you can see his eyes drifting towards Jingle, and he kind of gets a little, his icy teeth are kind of, some of them are broken and damaged, but you can see him getting kind of a smirk, like a frown on his face every time he looks at Jingles and back to you and back to Jingles, and he'll have disadvantage on his next tech. Anything else?
I'll go ahead and spend a bonus action to grant Koros Bardic Inspiration.
All right then. Does Koros know what Bardic Inspiration is?
You can add a D8 to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and it can be added after you see the roll, but not before knowing the outcome.
Okay.
All right. Kyron, this thing is covered in arcing lightning, and it's striking at you. You're parrying its blows. You're blocking, or it's blocking your strikes. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to attack him.
Exhaustion is beginning to set in, you guys. You guys are breathing really heavy. Your bodies are beaten up. You're worn out. Go ahead. Who says boss battles have to be at the end?
I'm going to have to roll that inspiration on one of the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a 12 for the first one.
Nope, not going to do it.
Nope. The second one is a 23.
Yes, sir.
Well, some damage. There's a 5 points of piercing and 8 points of thunder.
And it has to make that save again, right?
Yep.
It is going to succeed this time, though. So as you're trading blows left and right, you go for a killing blow towards its mouth, and it actually bites down on your blade and catches it mid-swing, and you rip it free and try to decapitate it, cutting a deep cut right through its neck. And you start to see it kind of stumble a little bit. Its movements start to become very sluggish in comparison to what has been happening. As you're finding it easier to block his incoming blows. Let's see if his thing recharges. Nope. All right. It is. He begins swiping at you. He's going to take the. He's going to go ahead and take a couple attacks. Now he has disadvantage on the first one, correct? So he's going to miss. Second one is going to miss as well. As his movement's becoming slower and more sluggish, he swings at you. You kind of catch his one arm with your blade. He kind of reels it around and tries to bitch slap you and catches you on your armor with a loud ring, fong, and you're able to parry his blow, and the lightning is shocking through and piercing his body and constantly, causing him to stutter. What are you going to do, Karos?
I'm going to continue the Witch Bolt, which, as I continue it, it goes down to 1d12 per turn. But
so I'm gonna do you a big favor. I don't roll that way with that spell because that spell is garbage. I will let you cast it, the refreshing damage at the same level that you cast the spell at, because that's a bullshit spell. Nobody has any reason taking it, and it's unfair to the player to have to use such a shitty spell. So when I run Witch Bolt, which I've only had one player use, it casts at the same level every round. I'm
curious why you think it's a shitty spell.
Because there's let's say at level whatever. Your cantrip's a good example. You have Eldritch Blast. How much does Eldritch Blast do when you attack?
Currently it does 1d10 plus 4.
Should be 2d10, right?
Well, 2 beams at 5th level.
Yes.
And then each beam does 1d10 plus 4.
So that's your cantrip. Your cantrip already does significantly more damage than wasting your action to channel that spell. In addition, it's got such a short range that maintaining it is often nearly impossible, because any smart, intelligent creature will just move away or block it or move into a line of sight. Thus, in my games, I have artificially buffed it. I do not tell my players that. I let them pick that of their own free will. Of course, once again, I've only ever had one player actually pick it because most people think that it is a subpar spell. I don't know if anybody have you heard of that, Joe? What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, the only way to make Witch Bolt a viable spell is to twin cast it.
Yep.
As a sorcerer.
And even then, it's okay.
Well, I'll take the buff and roll 3d12 then.
Yes.
Perfect.
And once again, that's something that I house rule. That is not an official rule, but it's unanimous that it's a pretty terrible spell. I have tried over and over and over again to find a way to make it useful, and Joe's right. The only way you can really do that is twin, and even then somebody just has to move out of the way. So because of that, I give it an artificial buff. So now so you actually will roll the same damage die. And honestly, I think it should have been that to begin with, but that's just my 2 cents. All right, so go ahead and roll your damage. Sorry that was long-winded.
No, that's fine. I did 20 total. Oh!
See? That makes it worth it. You rolled much better that time, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
As this lightning is crackling towards it, the energy rushes, and like a burst of energy shoots through, like the width of your lightning just increases significantly, sending a massive jolt to this creature. It begins twitching and twisting, and big chunks come bursting out of it. Sections of it are all over the place. It's barely standing. Several of its teeth are missing. It's crackling. But for some reason, it hasn't fallen yet. Jingles. This thing looks like it's barely standing. It's moving so sluggish that Chiron barely has any need to block its blows. What are you going to
do? Well, it seems this thing is about done here, and as snow it happens, the end is near. And I will Vicious Mockery.
Oh my God! Please roll higher than 6.
Okay, I rolled 7.
Are you? All right. So, oh my God! You just talked this guy to death. How does it end?
As I look at the beast and I finish my phrase. As snow it happens, the beast will fall. And freshly fallen snow will bring joy to us all. And his head just kind of puffs.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Oh, where is my thingy here? There it is. As the last minion fell, the heroes heard a great bellow. Above them descended a rather jolly-looking fellow. His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up in a bow, and the beard of his chin was white as snow. A wink in his eye, a twist in his head, soon gave you all to know that you had nothing to dread. "Good heroes," he said, "I hope you are well, for darkness has risen from the deepest pits of the 9 hells." As he spoke, his identity became clear to you all. "I am Father Critmas. Will you answer my call? You see, the Frost Lord has returned to this plane, hoping to drive it back into darkness again. If he succeeds in opening the well of endless sorrow, then this night will be eternal. Will be no tomorrow. You have until sunrise, just 5 hours till then. He is making his way up the darkest mountain. There in its heart sits an ancient evil thing. You must stop him before the morning bells ring. Great heroes, I assure you. Great heroes, I assure you, you will be rewarded with whatever honors that can be afforded." And laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, into the sky you all rose. With Father Critmas's blessing, the heroes flew into the night, and looking down on the earth from such a great height, the heroes watched dozens of village fly by, each one unaware that the world would soon die. As the mountain approached, the heroes descended, reaching the ground just as the spell ended. Before them rose a treacherous path, and even further up, a mighty storm unleashed its wrath. So you guys have been flown by magic, by Father Critmas, to this mountain. You did get the benefits of a short rest, so you can spend any hit dice you have to recover. I did not give you a long rest. So are there any questions thus far? No? Okay. So go ahead and heal up and recover. You can spend as many or as little of your hit dice as you will.
It's 1. The Mountains of Madness.
Let me know when you guys have got that taken care of, and we'll move forward. I get it.
Alrighty, I had to spend 4 of my hit die, but I'm back up to full health. And I get all my bardic inspiration back.
We all good to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think the Warlock will be the only one that gets all their slots back, if I'm mistaken. Though I don't know if he used any.
I used
Yeah,
1.
Witch Bolt.
Just Witch Bolt.
Okay. All right. So with this treacherous mountain pass, it's thick in snow and ice, and it's dangerous. So I need you guys to give me an athletics check, please.
Athletics.
Actually, I think saving throw is more appropriate. I apologize. It'd be an athletic. It'd be a straight. Well, we'll go with athletics check. My apologies.
Alright, that gives me a 14.
I have a 5.
That's not good. All right, one more.
1.
All right, so if you failed the athletics check, which was less than 14, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 4.
14.
That's rough. Was that Koros? They got a 4?
Yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you. So as you guys are pushing your way, climbing up this mountain, trying to seek your way to this this well that Father Critmas described, the cold is beginning to get you. It's nipping at your toes. It's chilling your body. It's not running from your nose. So because you failed the Constitution save, your body has struggling to deal with the temperature drop or the cold temperature and the mountain hike through the ice and snow. You have suffered 1 level of exhaustion.
So what does that entail?
I think that is disadvantage on ability checks at one level, if I'm not mistaken.
Did Chiron succeed? Because he rolled a 14.
You succeeded.
Okay.
But I create a fire to warm us up.
You could, but it wouldn't. You would, yeah.
I'll
tell you what. Because you thought to use that as a response to my ice cold chilling experience, I will let you have advantage on that check you just failed.
Okay, so I can,
because your character would think to do that. So
I can roll
you can
another
roll your
Constitution.
yes and take the higher of the two. I'm still hoping you fail because I'm a terrible person, but whatever.
I just probably still failed. I got an 8.
You still failed. Halfway up, you were able to you stopped for a rest and created this little bonfire. It was able to keep your allies nice and toasty, but unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough for you. You're sitting there like a hobo over a barrel, rubbing your hands together, and it's just not doing it. So unfortunately, you still do fail. But that was really a really good question and a very clever use of that. So it just fit perfectly. So
I love utility spells.
yeah, I agree. So that being said, climbing their way up the icy slope, the heroes held fast to their dearest hope. The footholds were slick and the hard to grab hold, but the heroes were determined, no matter what they rolled. As they reached the mountain's final crest, one final obstacle should put them to the test. A narrow winding path with sheer cliffs on the side, across its way a dark cave entrance where the evil well resides. The wind whipped across the path with a mighty force, and sleet and snow would make it difficult to see, of course. The fogs pondered a moment, under their breaths they cursed, arguing back and forth, who's going first? So you guys basically have this tiny, probably 8-inch path that's winding in front of you with drop-offs on either side. Who's going to make the treacherous walk first?
Well, I am the smallest, and that's to be assured. I'm thinking my feet will be able to determine whether or not it can handle at least my weight.
Do you guys
All
agree
right.
with that? Alrighty. You'll fucking dexterity builds. I love it. All right. So you are going to go first, Jingles.
Yes.
Make sure Jingles can make it all the way.
Ah.
So you begin taking your first step out onto the treacherous winding path. As you look down, it's easily almost 100 feet down. You see boulders and snow and rocks galore. It's very dangerous. If you fall, you'll be no more. Go ahead and give me a acrobatics check. Or that would be a saving throw. We'll say acrobatics.
Across, it'd probably be just acrobatics.
Acrobatics, you're right.
18.
As you tiptoe your way across the winding path, your foot slips a few seconds, but you're safe at last. As you get to the end, your friend's left behind. No danger to you. You've saved your behind. Man, I should write this shit. I gotta write this shit into this after I'm done, because that's some gold right there.
Sure it is.
Oh, whatever, man. So all right. So you make it pretty safely. You guys look like he made it look easy. Jingles. God, I keep wanting to say all the way. Jingles made it all the way.
Jingles all the way. Made it all the way.
But he did have a few slips and fears. Who's next?
I'll go, I guess.
So we were.
So you said athletics, acrobatics.
Now we were discussing the penalties for exhaustion. Do you remember what it was?
I don't. Could you repeat it?
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes.
Disadvantage on ability checks. This would be one of
This
those.
is a skill check, not an ability check.
That's the same thing.
Is it?
It absolutely is.
Hang on.
Disadvantage on ability checks is skill checks. A skill check is an ability check.
No.
And please, if I'm mistaken, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's a true statement.
I'll just roll
No,
with it.
he's right.
Roll with it. All right. So Koros, you approach this dangerous path. The wind is gusting up around you. As you step out on the ledge, you can see just the death that lays below. If you were to fall from this height, you probably you may not make it. So you got to be very careful. You're well aware as you trying to make it across. I assume you're just going to try to walk across, right?
I don't have anything else I could do. God damn it! I knew I should have taken fly. I almost took fly earlier when I was picking my spells.
Yeah. What were you just saying about utility spells earlier?
Right.
How glorious they are.
Right. I just wasn't sure how much chance I'd get to use it because it was like a dungeon crawler kind of thing. You said so.
Well, dungeon crawl definitely is what it is, but I guess dungeon is kind of loosey goosey in this terms. But
right. No, I get it. It's fine though.
It's all right.
If I die, I die.
So I feel bad. I kind of helped my kids out on this one, and I'm trying to debate whether I want to give me an intelligence check.
Okay, I can do that.
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage, of course.
You can't think clearly because you're exhausted. Your body's worn out. You're tired. There was a long hike up to this mountain.
You bastard. So I rolled a natural 20 as the high one, but the low one is a 14.
So you have a backpack, correct?
Yeah.
I got a bunch
of
there
equipment.
rope in your backpack? Do you recall that there's rope in your backpack?
I have rope.
I was about to say I got a crowbar, but no rope. Can I use the crowbar as like an ice pick? Kind of help me.
That's actually better than what I was gonna have your intelligence roll suggest. Yeah. So you can use the ice pick, not ice pick, the crowbar like an ice pick if you want to offset the disadvantage. And you make your way across.
That would be nice.
But you know, if you fall, you will undoubtedly probably die.
Yes, that is okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really have a choice, so...
Well, you don't have to cross. You can turn around and go back to the town and go back in the inn and just chill.
Aww.
I'm already chilling.
It is pretty cold. I see what
Hey,
you did
Justin.
there. Yeah?
There's heat buildup on my computer, and it's causing my screen to shake up.
Uh-oh. That's no good. You got a bigger...
No, it is
you
not.
got a
I've never
fan
seen it like this before.
You got a fan in your house?
Using a laptop?
Huh?
Are you using a laptop?
Yeah, I'm using a Surface Pro.
Can you pick it up off of the surface? like there's fans underneath, so if you put some books like on the edges underneath, so it can and the air can intake better, that would probably help a lot.
The vent is on the back end of the Surface Pro, so it's already up in the air.
Well, I just learned something. Don't ever buy a Surface Pro because apparently it just overheats after a couple hours of use.
No, it's fine after a couple hours. It's just using this program is having it fire all cylinders.
Okay. Well, hopefully, do you think it'll make it a half hour?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay. Well, thanks for the heads up. If you disappear, we'll know that it didn't go well.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead there, Chorus.
Sorry, are you using the Surface and charging it at the same time?
Yeah.
Unplug the battery.
The charger.
Yeah. That causes a lot of additional heat. And then only plug it in when it starts dead. That's good. Way to go, Koros. Way to be a smart man.
No change.
I have a degree in computer science, so
yeah, it won't cool down right away, but it'll stop adding additional heat to your thing. So it should at least make it for the next half hour.
I'm also delaying this roll that's about to kill me. So
whatever you can do.
Okay, so crossing fingers.
Fingers
I'm
crossed.
going to use the bonus action to give him Bardic Inspiration.
Ooh. Do you have a cool one-liner to save his life?
You know, that look of fear, it suits you.
Oh.
Well, I'll be honest, if he
So
falls to
Bardic
his death, it'll
Inspiration
suit him in red.
allows me to take advantage on that roll.
No, it gives you a D8 that you can add to the roll if you need it.
Oh my god, thank you.
Well, you say that, but just don't roll a 1 on either. All right, so you begin inching your way forward. You're slamming your pick and your crowbar into the ground as you work your way forward, and in an attempt to keep you safe. Give me a acrobatics check, please.
15.
So,
Oh no.
you begin inching your way and picking into the ice as you get closer and closer. You have Jingles guiding you. Part of the ice breaks away and you slip to the side. You use your improvised ice pick to grapple you as you begin to fall down to the ground, down the side. Your legs are just dangling, and you begin to try to pull yourself up. Give me a strength athletics check.
That I have disadvantage on.
Yes.
This might be the time to use the D8.
Yes.
I actually rolled an 18 as the low end.
Nice.
I rolled a 19 and a 17, and then I got +1.
Nice. So as you're hanging from that ledge, the words of encouragement of Jingles inspires you to call to action as you use every ounce of your iota of your strength to pull yourself up back onto the curb, and you begin crawling across, sinking your anchor in every step of the way, or every nudge or step of the way as you make it to the edge. On all four knees, right there at Jingles, breathing really heavily as you've just looked death right in the eye.
Oh my god.
So, seeing this, Chiron takes out his rope and his dagger, ties the dagger to one end of the rope, and has it as an improvised tool, just like what Koros did.
Okay. Are you using it to stab into the ground, or are you trying to like launch it across the
I'm gonna use it to catch myself in case I fail.
Okay, so did you tie the rope off to your stomach basically, or off to your side, and then you're holding it and try to catch you as you go across?
Yeah.
Just like I did with him, I will happily grant you advantage on your check. As you take your first step out, you feel under your feet the crackling of the ice. The weight of your armor is very heavy here. And you can feel it with every step. On the edges of the path, as you're winding around, twisting and turning, parts and sections are cracking and twisting and breaking right underneath your feet. You can feel it. Give me an acrobatics check.
With advantage?
With advantage. Aren't I a benevolent deity?
Not really.
18.
As you get towards the edge, excuse me. As you make your way towards the edge, you arrive to where Jingles and Koros are. Koros is still beaded sweat running down his face. Clearly, he's still feeling the effects of nearly falling to his doom. With the challenge, is there anything? Well, before I move on, is there anything you guys want to chit chat about in that scenario? You almost just witnessed one of your allies die. Yeah, fuck him, I guess.
Yeah, I'm very stoic about it.
It's like, it's all good. I just dust it off.
Well, whatever we're here to do, we're going to be decking his halls for sure.
Ah.
Joe, can I just tell you how awesome you are? I can't wait to share this with everyone because I'm going to edit the audio a little bit and then toss it in as a bonus Christmas episode. And you have really decked my halls, man. You really have. So thank you for all the pure gold.
All right, now we get moving then.
With the challenge overcome, the heroes made their way into the dark. A voice came from beyond with an arrogant remark. You think you can stop the mighty Lord Jack Frost? Your world is ending. This battle is lost. With a mighty rush of frigid air, the mournful moan began to blare. The well of sorrows had been wide open. The well of sorrows had been opened wide, just as the heroes had stepped inside. The ice face of Jack Frost met their gaze, as the room began to fill with a dreadful haze. I'll make you an offer. If you to me bend your knees, I will spare you while the rest of the world will freeze.
Yes, no thank you.
His eyes gaze to each one of you, moving on to Koros. You, I have been impressed with you. The darkness in your heart, the darkness of your power. Join me, and the world will be like both of us.
No.
Damn.
You're an asshole.
He turns to Chiron.
You're way too arrogant for me.
He turns eyes to Chiron. You serve a false deity. Join me and join a real deity. I will enhance your strength, your power, and I will give you all that you desire. A world of darkness that you can reign over top of. Beneath me, of course.
This is my answer. I cast Bane and use my Channel Divinity Vow of Enmity on him.
All right, I will let you cast the Bane and roll initiative, bitches. And we'll put, give me initiative rolls, and I'll let your Bane go first, and then we'll move into initiative roll.
6.
Is that Jingles?
Yes.
Chiron rolled a 9. 9!
So do I have disadvantage on that from my exhaustion?
Initiative is an ability check.
Yes. Okay, so 9.
Who has the higher dex between Chiron and Koros?
Who has the higher dex?
Dex mod.
I have a negative 1.
My dex mod is 0.
That's still higher than negative 1, so... and believe it or not, the boss rolled 12, so he's still going before all of you. But I am going to let your Bane effect take place. So for those of you who listen, this is one of the reasons why I like to ask for initiative in advance, because then I could have just rolled into his action and then followed initiative that way. Obviously, with stuff with the streaming, it's not something I do, but I need to get better at it. I forget during streams, but that's one of the better, in my opinion, the advantages of doing a roll initiative after every combat, so that you can have a nice flow. But I also gives my players priority when they take action, which is something that comes up. What if I say I attack? Well, if you attack first, then maybe you should get to go. Story-wise, narrative-wise, that makes sense. So, that being said, go ahead and cast your Bane. What is the DC on that?
14, Charisma.
He is going to fail. So that is a minus 1d4, right? Or 1d4 to all of his stuff.
1d4 to all of his attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay. All right. How does your Bane look when you cast it upon Jack Frost?
Well, he sees a shimmer of markings on Chiron's body shimmering through his armor, and for those who speak either Draconic or Celestial, you can tell that they are a mixture of the two languages appearing on his arms, his chest.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and you see a slight and that was a slight shimmer of casting Bane.
Okay.
But for future preferences, when he's going to use his Channel Divinity as a bonus action, the runes are going to appear through his armor. Fully. No shimmering or glimmer or dim light. It's shining through.
Very cool. Remember to describe that when you do that, because I'm going to undoubtedly forget in 3, 2, 1. Not on purpose. I just can't remember shit. So, all right. So, he kind of snarls. I offer you a way out, and you attack me with your pitiful magic. Magic. My magic is ultimate. He holds out his hand, and he just does a wave across outstretched hand in front of you, and a massive blast of ice appears, and he creates a solid ice wall. and you can see through this probably what I forget how thick it is. I probably should double check. This really thick ice wall. You see him turn to the center of the room where this well is filling up with darkness as this like dark creeping mist is gradually pouring out, and that's when you hear a massive bellow. That was probably loud. And you look almost like a bat hanging upside down in this cavern. You see the white dragon drop from a vertical stance and fall to the ground, and its thunderous wings beating above you. And it swipes down and attempts to grapple the Chiron. You have to beat a 14 for the first one as he grapples you. Now, he's moved into engaged range with all of you, so if he does choose to fly away, you will have an opportunity attack.
So do I have to make an acrobatics or athletics?
You can use whatever one's higher to you. That, as a defender, that is your choice.
That fell. That is a 23 for the first.
All right. So as he tries to grapple you with its mighty forearms, it swipes and you kind of duck below it. Or wait, did you use strength or did you use dex?
I use athletics.
So as it tries to swipe and it grabs onto you, you kind of pry its arms apart and it tries to sweep by and enclose you with both arms, and it is going to try to grapple you again. 24.
11.
That was almost a crit. So as this dragon grabs onto your body, it tucks its wings in and jumps off with its hind legs and beats with a loud thrumming and jumps towards the sky. This will give both Koros and Jingles an opportunity attack if you so wish it.
I will take that opportunity attack.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, give me an attack roll.
18.
Disadvantage, right?
No. That is not considered an ability check.
Okay. All right, you can go first, Joe.
I rolled an 18,
Yes.
and I will hit him for 7 points of damage with my rapier.
All right, and then what do we got from Chiron? Or Koros?
First hit is a 24.
Yep.
Second hit is a 9.
The first one is going to hit. Roll damage.
Okay. And that's going to be an agonizing blast,
Okay.
which adds +4 to the damage it deals on a hit.
Right.
So that's going to be 1d10 plus 8. 18 maximum damage.
Nice.
Nice.
So as the dragon drops down and scoops up Chiron, you see him fighting and holding and pushing and doing everything he can to avoid the grapple, but its front claws grapple around him. Its wings tuck in, his hind legs kick off the ground as he goes to do a powerful jump into the sky. You both assault him. The Jingles responds with a assaulting rapier, plucking several holes into its thin membrane wing. The dark black and purple energy charges through Koros, rushing through his hands, almost like Dragon Ball Z style, and he blasts it, releasing the blast, which does have a push still, right?
No. I chose to make it agonizing instead of...
Oh, you increase its damage instead of the slide effect. Got you. As he begins to charge it, kind of like the Kamehameha, he blasts it out. This extra thick blast comes loose out. One kind of crashes into the side of the wall. The other one catches the dragon right in the neck as he kind of reels. He kicks off with its hind legs, beats its wings with a loud whoosh, and he leaps into the sky and begins flying until he reaches towards the top a good 100 feet. And he begins at the arch. He turns around and he begins falling back down to the sky, spinning in circles into a swan dive. It is now
dead meat.
It is now Jack's turn. He kind of, you see him look over there with his big beard, You had your chance. And he begins chanting, ha shi ha si ro la hi. And as he's beginning chanting, the power in the well of sorrows is beginning to swell, and more of this dark black mist is oozing out of it, beginning to fill the other side. But it's a little hazy because all you can see through is this massive ice wall. As he begins, yeah, okay, and he begins channeling more and more of this energy. You see this dark energy tendrils kind of leaping from his fingertips and bolstering the well. Koros, what are you gonna do?
Well, would I be able to counterspell that?
You can certainly try.
That's fair.
DM's favorite line.
Yep. Do you need line of sight to counterspell?
Yeah, and that's true. And I realized we're behind a wall of ice.
You certainly are.
Can I melt the ice with a bonfire?
You can certainly try.
I guess I'll give it a try. I mean, it's ice.
Where is... It occurs to me. I just met... Hang on. 1 second. I done goofed something up here. Not, it isn't gonna affect you guys at all. Well, it will because I'm not looking at the... So I updated this reference chart that I'm using, or this reference adventurer, like 3 times, and I'm not looking at the most recent one, which includes a few new actions that I added to this gentleman.
Oh no.
You're fine. It's not anything that's gonna break you guys. I'm sure that Joe will notice them pretty quickly if he remembers. But it isn't anything that's going to affect you too much, just how the mechanics of the combat move forward.
Oh no.
Go, come on. Okay, go. Does your bonfire require an attack roll, or it just appears in an area, right?
Yeah, it just appears in an area.
That is dope as shit. And unfair.
I know. It's a really awesome cantrip. It's been really useful.
Go ahead and give me a damage roll, please.
Okay. So it does 2d8. So I got 8 damage.
So where you summon this right near the barrier of ice. And as you do, you start to see the wall begin to melt, and you can almost see through the glass a very serious, evil kind of sneer and kind of annoyed look come from him, and kind of from an echoey because of behind the wall you hear, "How dare you, my glass masterpiece! I will crush you for that. After I cover the world in darkness," and he turns back to chanting his Asuriado spell, and start of the wall begins to become much thinner. At this point, you think that given it a few seconds, it'll probably melt a small pathway through, but it won't be instant.
Fair.
Next up would be Kyron.
So the dragon is swan diving me into the ground, yes?
Oh yeah, he's have you ever seen the Charizard do the body slam where he just spins until he slams you in the ground? That's pretty much what's going to happen to you. You are like spinning in a death spiral as he's heading towards the ground. You're having trouble distinguishing which way is up and which way is down. Everything is twisting and spinning. Your brain is getting kind of confused at the moment.
How high up am I?
I would say the whole of the thing was 100 feet, and he probably descended 20 after he did the arc, but ran out of movement. So you're probably near the top. Go ahead, break his grapple.
Would that require an action?
Yes. You can attempt to break free of his grapple. At this height, it's possible you will still fall, but maybe that'll be less damage than him smashing you into the ground. Your brain's kind of discombobulated at the moment, but you are certainly free to try to break free.
So I'm going to use athletics. That is a 24.
Okay. I gotta make a contested check. Ooh, 21. So as he's got you in his claws, you begin pushing and twisting, and he kind of squeezes onto you. You're spinning, your head's all, and then you kind of you break free, and now you're in a complete free fall right now.
So from that point, how high am I now? Is it still like
it's until the end of your turn? We'll say that we won't worry about how far you fall until the end of the turn, but I'm going to assume 30 feet per round. Actually, I think it's faster than that now that I think about it. Does anybody know the actual metrics for that?
200 feet per round, I think.
Oh, you're going to hit the ground by the end of the round.
Well, I'm going to lessen the damage by using my bonus action to cast Misty Step. 30 feet straight down.
Ooh, that's good. That's really good. I like that.
And that was my last second level spell slot.
So that'll only be a 50-foot fall because he was already down about 20 short distance and another short distance. Yeah. Okay. That's actually pretty good. Why don't you give me an intelligence roll at disadvantage? Because because you're spinning and tumbling and all that, you're kind of discombobulated. But if you can give me a high enough check, I'll even make it really easy. At disadvantage, I'll make it 12. If you can make 12, I'll give you some good. Your character will figure something out, and we'll share that information with you.
17.
There it is. As you're tipping end over end, you Can you ready a bonus action? You can ready a bonus action. Just use your reaction, right? Yeah, I'm going to let it. If you wait till just the last second... Oh, man, does teleport actually traverse, inertia, though? For the sake of this...
If you just started swan diving.
Yeah, I would say for the sake of this and just continuing to get it done, we're going to say that it'll work that way. You know that if you wait just long enough, you can Misty Step your way to help avoid damage. Okay. And I'll reduce the impact by half instead of dropping the inertia completely. I think that's fair.
All right.
God, no matter how much I play this game, I always run into shit that I just like, damn. All right, so we'll do that actually at the end of the round. So, Karan, you're currently twisting and falling in a free fall. Jingles, you see him coming into a free fall. What are you going to do?
My attention is more focused on the dragon.
Okay.
What?
It seems our monstrous friend has returned, and when you're dealing with monsters, well, it takes one to know one. And I will lock eyes with the spinning dragon, and again he'll hear that deep voice. He will beat you with sticks, he will tear out your throat, feed your eyes to the crows and your guts to the goat. He'll bind you up in chains and throw you in his dank sack, take you deep into hell, and you'll never get back. Phantasmal force. Guess who's coming back?
Krampus is back! Or Krampus. Is it Krampus or Krampus?
Krampus.
Krampus. See? Yeah, nobody can agree. I found what I was looking for, by the way.
I heard Krampus during the trailers.
Yeah, well, they didn't create Krampus. That's just how they say it, too. I think that's an old story.
They called him Krampus and Grimm.
Yeah,
so.
that's where I heard it, but I was never sure. So, all right. So,
I will take an intelligence saving throw.
That's unfortunate because while I treat this character as mildly intelligent, he is not going to do very well. Fuck. He certainly is going to fail. So as he's in a swan dive spinning, his wings open up in an instant. And it stops him in mid-motion, and he opens his maw, and in Draconic screams, "Why are you back?" And you see his frost breath blast into the side of the wall, and he begins swiping and snarling and swatting at something imaginary.
And he'll take 6 points of damage.
Wait, do I take the fall damage now?
At the end of the round, which is the end of Jingle's turn, so in a minute. How much damage did you say that was?
6.
And you start to see him as he's attacking and swiping. You see him kind of reacting and moving and twisting as if he's being attacked or swiped. You see him trying to block stuff that's not there, and he begins bellowing, "I'll devour you!" And it does this big dragon bellowing, and just as at this point you see as you're looking up, just finishing your spell there, Jingles, you see Chiron falling, and then in an instant he disappears into a puff of misty silvery smoke and appears. Where would you like to appear? You can appear by yourself or near one of your allies.
I'd like to appear,
or on the other side of the wall next to Jack.
Yeah, I wanted to do that.
All right, so in a poof of smoke, Jingles, you look over and you see Chiron on the other side of the barrier, standing behind Jack with his blade drawn. Fucking.
I'm sorry, repeat that. My dog was being an asshole.
How much?
Just that very last thing you said.
As the round ended, Chiron waited till he got within a few feet of the ground and then used Misty Step.
Okay, and I heard that part.
Okay.
Okay.
The dragon is fighting Krampus again. Krampus. Because of fucking Phantasmal Force, which, by the way, one of my favorite abilities, bar none. Next to grappling, it is by far the coolest ability. So.
Okay, so what is the state of the ice wall?
It has melted. You think in maybe another 10 seconds, it might have a small path through the wall.
Wait, how much damage did I take?
I didn't roll damage yet. I said I do half damage, right?
Yeah.
You're going to take 11 points of damage as you land right behind them. The ice cracks below you as your inertia smashes into the ground. I really should look that up. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. Although that would have been an interesting experience.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would just crash into the ground because I'm a fan of that stuff. But that's why I love grapple.
Anyway. But I'm not Grog.
Yeah, well, it's true. All right, top of the initiative. The dragon is continuing to assault this damn creature. You see it's clawing. It's doing it's swiping its wing in midair as it swings. It smashes into the wall left and right. It's like a ping pong ball going back and forth against the air high above you guys. You see it grapples and begins its swan dive again as if it's holding on to something. Oh, God damn it. And it begins its swan dive, similar to what you saw with Chiron, as it nearly, what is it? I gotta check its fly speed. There it is. Yeah, as it smashes face first into the ground, and its skull cracks, and you see blood going everywhere. I'll kill you! You'll die! And it's breathing heavily. It's barely moving. It's one of its wings is twisted and contorted in an odd angle. It's got several what appears to be claw marks in its thin membrane. God, I love that ability. How much damage does he take?
On my turn, I can have it deal 1d6 points of damage.
And are you going to have it do that?
Yes. And he will take 5 points of damage.
And he's getting his ass kicked, and you guys see he looks like he's losing his mind. And the two of you aren't exactly sure what's going on, but you've traveled with Jingles along the way and are well familiar with his torturous techniques. The paladin may even disapprove. Do you disapprove?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Top of the initiative. Dragon just went. Jack goes, Caesar! You! What have you done to my baby again? How dare you? You all die. He begins channeling this energy again. And his blade, he holds out his hand and he closes it in this ice blade, this giant, let me think about that. He holds out his hand sideways and closes his hand, and a giant ice great sword appears out of pure ice, and he holds it up. He says, "You will not interrupt my spell. This ritual will be completed, and your blood will be on my blade. And he turns and swipes at you, Kyron. I don't think a 9 is going to hit you.
No.
So, as he swipes at you with 2 incoming blows, he slashes and he cuts. You dodge, you parry, you duck out of the right way. His blade cuts through a good couple inches of the ice wall behind you. And he says, "Stop dodging, fool! Accept your defeat!" And you are parrying his blow. A couple managed to catch you right in the side a little bit, but your armor absorbs the shock. Koros.
Can I get through the wall?
You can't walk through it yet, but you may be able to force your way through.
Okay.
Either with an Eldritch Blast or something to kind of help it along, or if you wait another few seconds, which would be another round, you suspect it'll probably melt the rest of the way.
From behind the wall, can I mind spike Jack Frost?
Does that require line of sight?
It doesn't say. It just says you reach into the mind of one it says you can see within range.
I would say you can see it. It doesn't say you have to. I would argue because you can see it, it should work. So
yeah,
I would.
And then the range is 60 feet.
Yep, I'll give it to you. God,
So,
you guys are gonna kill all my guys with magic telepathy bullshit. Bastards.
My preferred class is a sorcerer. I'm really good at this.
Yeah, clearly.
The target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And he has minus 1d4 on that.
And he has minus 1d4 on that.
You're welcome.
Oh no, he's gonna fail.
Wisdom.
I don't even know what your save is, but I rolled way low.
Yeah, the save is 15.
Yeah, I got like a 9, and then the -4 didn't help.
And then that attack does 4d8 damage.
Okay, roll damage.
All right. So d8.
What type of damage is it?
Psychic.
Oh.
Psychic damage.
Okay. So is it just raw damage? Does it have any other effects?
1 second here. Let me finish adding this up really quick. Let me see here. It says on a failed save, you all also always know the target's location until the spell ends, but while only the two of you are on the same plane of existence. While you have this knowledge, the target cannot become hidden from you, and if it's invisible, it gains no benefit from that condition against you.
I consider those conditions unacceptable, and will smite you.
So always
second,
know
yeah.
where he is. We have a mind connection. I always know where he is as long as we're on the same plane of existence.
Okay.
And it does 25 damage.
Oh, I totally forgot something. You guys are in such luck. What? Okay. So what was the damage?
25.
So as you quickly chant with this dark, demonic kind of,
Power of the great old ones.
Yeah. You guys see as Jack is assaulting Chiron, you see him kind of almost like freeze for an instant, and like a pain of shock, and his face contorts, which is clearly showing pain and anguish at some invisible strike that you can't see, as he kind of stutters a little bit during his blow, easily allowing Chiron to evade and block his ongoing attack. Damn. You done fucking wrecked my guy, dude. I consider that unacceptable, by the way. Anything else? You still have a movement and a bonus action.
I'm just gonna wait here until the wall melts, because
All right.
put myself in harm's way.
And as you do, in response to your attack, Jack bellows, "Boo!" And the entire cave shudders. And as you look up in the sky, you start to see, is it stalactites?
Yeah, stalactite.
Yeah. Stalactites start breaking free from the vibration and begin falling down. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Dang it.
Oh, damn.
15.
20.
9.
Okay. Chiron, you're going to take 14 points of damage. The rest of you are going to take 7. As jagged icicle stalactites come dropping in and piercing through your legs and through some of your arms. As they hit the ground, they shatter and send a little shockwave into your face, creating several little almost like triangular platforms in the ground all around you. A good probably 20 of these things have kind of appeared with a thud, 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 thud all around the area. Chiron, what are you going to do, boss? You're locked in a battle with this. You're staring at him in his eyes. Clearly, anguish and fear and anger are rising from his face. You can feel it, him trembling under your blade.
I am going to use my last potion of greater healing. That's not good. I healed 10 hit points.
Okay. That's not
and
good.
For my bonus action, I'm going to use my Abjure Enemy Channel Divinity.
Okay.
So what that does is that it gives me advantage on attack rolls against him.
Oh, nice.
And that's the end of my turn.
You start to notice something. Because you're close, you can actually start seeing some of his wounds are stitching themselves together only moments after taking the damage. As ice kind of glosses over him, he begins to almost heal himself or have some sort of power that's preventing any wounds from sticking. The only part of the body you realize it doesn't get healed is by his hands that are covered in darkness from the power of the well of sorrow that's surrounding him. So in response to you, he holds out his dark covered hand, and you start to see this kind of this black mist kind of form around what appears to be like a giant snowball, and he blasts it out in front of you, and he hits you with Cone of Cold.
Oh no. Con save?
Yes. Unfortunately, nobody else is in the area, so it'll only hit you.
Dang it.
Oh, Jesus, that's so much damage.
What does
22.
Jingles do?
My con save is a 22.
So you're going to take half damage. As you see the blast coming, you kind of you turn your body sideways and put your sword out. And you don't have a shield or anything, do you?
I do have a shield.
Okay. You put your shield out in front of you, and the blast kind of goes around it. The chilling effect starts putting ice all over your blade and all over your armor and your shield. Your entire front of your shield becomes ice. The chilling effect rushes through your body. Parts of your body instantly start to become numb, and you take 16 points of damage.
All right. Have it your way. I use Hellish Rebuke
All right.
as my reaction.
That's awesome and very cool. Dex save? Yeah, I think that's a dex save. Double check if you want, please.
Come on. Oh, let me select. No, there we go. Hellish Rebuke. Yep, dex save.
12.
Fails.
Okay, so damage.
14 points of fire damage.
As you lash out, you point your finger, and flames of hell burst around him. he begins to scream and yell and ache and pain. How dare you! It burns! It burns! He quickly kind of stabs his blade in the ground, and ice kind of rolls up and starts to heal over his body and satiate his wounds. And you start to notice that once again, where the darkness for him channeling his spell is encrusted on his hands, the wounds do not heal, and his hands are burnt and charred. As he's continually dealing with this ritual of this well of sorrows, the rest of his body begins to recover, but his hands where with the darkness rushing through him from the well are not. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
His clothes are singed and burnt and tore up. You start to see a little bit of what you thought was fear in his eyes, but then he just, as his blade absorbs the ice and his body begins to heal, he just looks at you and says, "You can hurt me, but you'll never beat me. Darkness will spread across the land. You will all die." And Jingles, you're up. Give me an intelligence check, please.
There we go. That is 16.
Without word from their lips, the party suddenly knew the Lord of Frost could not be subdued. The only way to bring about tomorrow was to force Jack Frost into the well of endless sorrow. The Lord fell to his knees, dropping his shield. "I will not be defeated. I will never yield." He rose from his feet, lifting his mighty sword to the sky. "This world is ending. Now watch your son die." So you've learned from your interactions with him that while he is recovering very quickly from his wounds, when he's interacting with the well, those parts do not recover and seem to take additional damage. You guys have also observed that his reaction to the blazes of fire seem to be much more severe than those of other techniques you've used. Jingles, what are you going to do?
A friend once told me, the best way to spread Critmas cheer is singing loudly for all to hear. And I will use Mantle of Majesty.
Ooh.
Once per long rest, as a bonus action, you cast Command without expending a spell slot. For 1 minute or until your concentration ends, you can cast Command as a bonus action on each of your turns without expending a spell slot.
Fuck. That's dope. I gotta make a save?
Yes. Command is a wisdom save, and he has minus 1d4.
No. Oh my god. This minus 1d4 is going to determine whether he succeeds or not. I don't want to roll it.
Roll it.
Roll it!
What's the command?
Sing.
Oh, fuck. Now I got to sing. God damn it. He goes, "You cannot compel me with..." And his body begins to twist and contort, and you see his face begin to smile, and he says, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, all the fields we go, laughing all the way, mwahaha." And he begins singing and cheering and bellowing this jingly tune. Oh fuck. Back to the anything else?
Well, that was just my bonus
Yeah,
action.
that was just, I was gonna say, that's just your bonus action. So
How thick is the ice wall?
At this point, it is past his turn 2 times, so it is almost completely melted. You can push through it with little or no effort. It won't impede require your action or impede your movement at all. Damn Koros.
Well, it's no way to go, but a hero he must be, and I will charge through the ice and attempt to tackle him into the well.
Give me a strength athletics check.
That is a 17.
Because he's singing, he has disadvantage on his check because he's more engaged in that. As the dragon takes flight and fights his invisible foe, he crashes to the ground and dies below. Our heroes advanced on Jack Frost with all their might, forcing him back, ending the fight. Jingle's attacks drove Jack back towards the well, and with a pitiful scream, Jack, the Lord of Frost, fell. The well of sorrows let out a massive scream, then sealed itself over, leaving naught but a seam. Heroes looked among themselves with surprise, when from outside the cave they heard joyful cries. Father Critmas met them just outside with delight. You heroes did it, you've made everything right. His joy was contagious, laughter filled the skies, and the grip of night gave way to beautiful sunrise. Your heroes saved Critmas, and a whole world as well. From this point forward, we will tell of the day the Lord Frost fell. Your rewards will be great for the deeds you did for me. They await you at home underneath your Critmas tree. Father Critmas gave a grin and an orb of bright light to each of the heroes who all laughed with delight. You heroes are mighty and will be honored for all that you've done. But there are crits to be given, and so I must run. He sprang into the air, to the heroes gave a whistle, and away the man flew like the down of a thistle. But many heard him exclaim, ere he flew out of sight, Merry Critmas to all, and to all a good night. All right, that is the wonderful adventure, Jack Frost, a Critmas story, written by Joe. So thank you very, very much for running. Yeah, let's clap. That's good. He did a good job. That Joe wrote for us last year, and I formatted it and put it into a presentable format. I will put that up for our patrons on our patron page. So everyone can, all of our patrons can have access to it. I highly recommend running this if you can. I've made a lot of changes on the fly for a smaller party, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Did you guys enjoy this adventure?
Yeah, it was fun.
I did.
Yeah, but I never got to use my Abjure enemy.
Well, that's on you.
Hey, that's not on me. That's on the dragon.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, what a bastard. But first of all, this was an amazing adventure. Joe, you did a phenomenal job. Thank you again for letting me run it for everyone and stream it. It really was awesome. I read a lot of things that I wanted to run, but this was bar none my favorite. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I am Justin, the host of the D&D discussion podcast Crit Academy, where we bring you new and reusable material for both players and DMs. You can check us out at critacademy.com. Come visit us, listen to our show. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts at. Definitely check it out. If you like watching the stream or listening to it, please subscribe on our Twitch channel here as well, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Crit Academy. We're always posting weird and goofy stuff and stuff that hopefully helps you get a better experience and enhance your game. So starting with our wonderful special guy over here who wrote this adventure, Joe, would you introduce yourself, tell us about your character, and one thing you really enjoyed about this session?
Well, I'm Joe, and I played Jingles Alloway, the halfling bard of unextinguishable excitement and joy. I am a frequent user of puns, and I think my favorite part of the adventure was just getting a chance to actually play it, because I've never played in it. I've only ever run it as a Christmas adventure, so getting a chance to actually play and see what it's like to be a player is really nice.
Wonderful. We'll make our thank you for that. We'll go down here to Matt.
Hi, my name is Matthew, and I am the Tiefling Paladin known as Chiron, the Servant of Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon God.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mason.
Yes, yeah, I am Mason. I played Koros, the Tiefling Warlock of the Great Old Ones, and I honestly just really enjoyed playing again. I haven't played in over a year. It's just, wow. I felt very useful. It was nice.
You all did wonderful work. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me and joining the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for playing your character so wonderfully. So thank you for joining us. Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.